happy holidays to all of you and a happy Eid to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. And welcome to News Morning here on Newday on TV3. My name is Beatrice, coming up in the next few minutes. With Burkina Faso banning export of fresh tomatoes, calls intensify for Ghana to focus on improving local production of tomatoes. Also on the program, Forestry Commission Board petitions President Mahama to revoke EI 144 that stripped the Achimota Forest Reserve of its protected status. And much later on the program, Parliament ratifies new lithium mining agreement, which introduces a sliding scale royalty regime and a 1% community development fund, despite strong opposition from the minority. My name is Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Now, Ghana could be heading for a tomato shortage following a decision by neighboring Burkina Faso to ban the export of fresh tomatoes. The move, which will take effect with immediate effect, is already sending shockwaves through markets across the country.
Authorities in Burkina Faso announced the indefinite suspension of fresh tomato exports as part of efforts to prioritize local processing and ensure adequate supply for domestic industries. The directive also halts the issuance of export permits, giving traders only a short window to complete existing shipments before the ban is fully enforced. Officials say the policy is aimed at strengthening the country's agro-processing sector and reducing reliance on raw exports. But the decision is expected to have immediate consequences for Ghana, which relies heavily on tomatoes exported from Burkina Faso, especially during lean farming seasons. Traders at Racecourse Market in Kumasi are already warning of looming shortages and a possible surge in prices if alternative supplies are not secured quickly.
We have been working with these Burkina people for some years now, so when we heard of the tomato export ban, we were disturbed. The little we have available is getting finished. We want Ghana authorities to help us get the tomato, else in 2 weeks' time we might not have tomatoes in Ghana to eat. We have invested into these businesses and this sudden decision will affect our trade.
We have taken a lot of money to purchase these tomatoes and they are not buying, so we are very angry.
The development has also reignited concerns about Ghana's dependence on imported tomatoes, with stakeholders calling for urgent investment in irrigation, storage and local processing to boost domestic production. Nana Ajinim Boateng is a member of the Tomato Traders and Transporters Association. While the ban remains in place until further notice,
the only remedy to this is hustling solution, is hustling problem, is that unless we go into irrigation and we start planting our own tomatoes, otherwise we won't get tomato from the neighboring countries such as Togo or La Côte d'Ivoire. No. There's a difference between the Burkina tomato and the Ghana tomato. The Burkina tomato, the fiber content is about 90% and the water content is about 10%. So, already the perishable aspect, you can harvest it and it will be there even without a refrigeration. It will take about 2 weeks before it will perish.
Market watchers say its long-term impact will depend on how quickly Ghana can respond by strengthening its local supply chain.
Now, the Ashanti North Regional Police Command has arrested 12 members of a notorious highway robbery syndicate believed to be behind a string of violent robberies across parts of the Ashanti North region and other regions. A report by Benjamin Edu.
Briefing the media on Thursday at Asante Mampon, the regional commander, ACP Felix Apedo, said the arrest followed sustained intelligence-led investigation gathering and surveillance conducted over a period of about 2 months. During the operation, the police retrieved 3 locally manufactured shotguns, 1 locally made pistol, 9 live BB cartridges and 4 cutlasses. Other seized items included 1 sword, 2 knives, 41 mobile phones, 7 mobile phone covers, and 1 fertilizer bag used to conceal the weapons. He called on the public to support the police with credible information to arrest armed robbers in the area.
The suspects further admitted their involvement in other robberies incidents at Mampo Jura stretch of road about 2 months ago, Offensu Kokoti about 3 months ago, Wenchi during the 2025 Salah festivities, Buku Sunyani Road about 3 months ago, Bupi Northern Region about 3 months ago. Now and they even stole cows. Obuasi about 2 months ago, where 1 suspect was killed during the shootout with the police. On the 16th March 2026, all the 12 suspects were arraigned before a Fijasi Magistrate Court and were remanded into police custody to reappear on the 14th April 2026.
ACP Felix Apedo said efforts are underway to arrest 2 other accomplices who are currently at large.
Now, Parliament has approved a revised lithium mining agreement with Barari DV Ghana Limited, which introduces a sliding scale royalty regime for maximum benefit of 12% based on corresponding market prices. The new deal also introduces 1% community development fund for the project in mining communities. But the minority has opposed the agreement on principle that their concerns were not considered by the Lands Minister in the final draft. Christian Yale has the rest of the story.
The history of lithium mining in Ghana dates back to at least 2012 when Barari DV Ghana Limited, which is a subsidiary of Atlantic Lithium Limited, started exploring in Ghana. It was first granted a reconnaissance license to explore the Ewoya concession. The NBP government first brought an agreement that pegged the royalty rate at a static 10%. NDC brought one which was pegged at 5%. It was withdrawn. A revised one which has been approved today now brings in what is called a sliding scale royalty regime, so that based on the pricing regime on the global market, Ghana gets the corresponding rate. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has justified this decision.
There was a lot of noise made about the fact that royalty was reduced to 5%. Today I'm proud to say that at the current rate, the royalty will be 12% and not a 10% fixed rate, because of the sliding scale that has been approved by the House.
The new deal also brings what is called the 1% Community Development Fund. The minority, especially the former finance minister, is of the view that 1% is inadequate.
Because of the environmental concerns, communities that will be affected are too exposed. But I see only 1% of annual revenue required to be put in a community development fund. This may not be enough if you match it against the enormous negative footprint lithium production could bring to our communities. And so I propose that we should increase it to 2%, if not even 3%.
The minority leader led his caucus to vote against the revised lithium mining agreement.
The entire 87 minority caucus of this House votes en bloc against this, to the extent that, Mr. Speaker, the minister did not carry our concerns on board and insisted to carry the report in its present form and shape. We cannot be part of this.
This agreement grants the company a 15-year mining lease, but it is renewable based on the Minerals and Mining Act. But the government also indicates that, unlike in other mining companies, that the country has a 10% free carried interest. In this lithium case, government says it has negotiated a 13% free carried interest.
As many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. Now, members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
The Lands and Natural Resources Committee of Parliament engaged stakeholders, including chiefs from the Infantiman area, and factored all their recommendations and suggestions into this revised agreement. But the minority has opposed it. We look forward to see how the subsequent days will turn out to be. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Parliament.
Now, Eid al-Fitr celebrations are set to begin today on the 20th of March as Muslims around the world mark the end of the holy month of Ramadan, a period defined by fasting, prayer and deep reflection. Ahead of the festivities, my colleague Noura Mohammed visited some Muslim communities to gauge the level of preparedness, capturing the atmosphere in the market and the pace of last-minute shopping as families gear up for the celebration.
After 30 days of fasting from dawn to dusk, abstaining from food and water while intensifying worship, Muslims across the world have brought Ramadan to a close, ushering in the joyous celebration of Eid al-Fitr. In Ghana, the day begins with congregational prayers as worshippers give thanks to Allah for the strength to complete the fast. What follows is a time of feasting, family gatherings and merrymaking. Beyond the celebration, Eid al-Fitr emphasizes charity and sense of community. Acts like Zakat al-Fitr ensure that the less fortunate can also partake in the joy of the day. In Nima, a predominantly Muslim community in Accra, the festive energy is rife. Streets are lined with traders selling abayas, jalbabs, veils, jewelry, poultry and a variety of food items in high demand for the celebration. For many of these traders, Eid is not only a celebration but also an economic opportunity. I will enjoy myself this Eid. Prices of goods have reduced and so we'll be able to celebrate it well. All we pray for is peace worldwide, especially in the countries that are currently experiencing war. We pray to Allah for peace.
afia kwa pra betuye obiye wonkwa bebre na eko yeso adumadumi nti ye bompa ese be ya asundwe.
We thank God for bringing us this far. Market is not booming this Eid as it did in previous years, but the little we are able to sell is enough for us.
Ba wai ba kasuwa ba, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Saboda mu yan sadaka ya mun yi yawa. Albarkacin Allah da
the market is good. Although some are not able to sell as much, more traders are able to engage in business due to the dollar rate. I'll be praying at Medina, and after prayers, I'll go back home, cook, and share the food with my Christian brothers and sisters. For Paul Amoa, a poultry seller, business this year has been slow and less encouraging than expected.
Oh, market ni dia emunya, but ya hwede anyame be ya ana ade no so ya ochena nti enim se chena no emu be ya na se be se ba ene ne dia enko.
This year, the market for our poultry is not as good. We started selling this morning, but so far it's not good. As tomorrow is the Eid, we hope to make more sales then. Some years the Eid sales are great, some years it's not. It's normal. It could also be because people buy from co-stores due to the volume of chicken they can get with the same money.
Meanwhile, Mariam, a henna artist in Nima, describes the season as one of her busiest periods. Though exhausting, she says the increased patronage makes the effort worthwhile. For some, the market may be slow. For others, it is a season for booming business. And for many Ghanaian Muslims, after the fast comes the feast. Noura Mohammed, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, the Forestry Commission Board has formally petitioned President John Mahama to revoke Executive Instrument 144 that stripped the Achimota Forest Reserve of its protected status and paved the way for portions of Accra's remaining forest to be opened up for private development. The petition, submitted in January this year through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, marks the first time the Forestry Commission Board has taken a unified institutional stand against the controversial instrument which was executed in 2021 under the previous administration. Deborah Abamesa has more in the following report.
When the Achimota Forest was gazetted in 1930, it had a total size of 494.95 hectares. Today, it stands at just 360 hectares, a loss of 134.95 hectares, or 27% of the original cover. That loss has come from decades of urban infrastructure development and illegal encroachment. Speaking on the sidelines of this year's Tree for Life Reforestation Initiative, the CEO of the Forestry Commission, Hugh Brown, confirmed the development, expressing cautious optimism that the President would respond favorably to the petition to revoke Executive Instrument 144.
It is still in force, but the Forestry Commission has indicated its displeasure with the EI and has petitioned, the Forestry Commission Board has petitioned the President through the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources for the revocation of the EI. The good thing is that even though it is still in force, no portion, no inch of Achimota Forest Reserve has been lost yet.
He says that the continued existence of EI 144, even without any fiscal encroachment so far, has had a paralyzing effect on the Commission's conservation and rehabilitation efforts.
Because of the EI that came into place and the uncertainty surrounding some portions, we are waiting to be sure that if we invested in planting trees or rehabilitating those areas, it will not be in vain. Because why invest your hard-earned funds in an area that's going to be cleared for construction or buildings?
The statement lays bare a troubling conservation paradox. A forest physically intact but administratively vulnerable, where the threat of a legal instrument is enough to freeze investment in its future. At this year's Tree for Life Reforestation Initiative, the Forestry Commission joined the Ministry for Lands and Natural Resources, schools, communities and government agencies in a nationwide tree planting exercise. Lands Minister Emmanuel Amakofibua announced that the government is targeting the planting of 31.09 million seedlings across the country under this year's Tree for Life initiative.
For 2026, we are setting our sights high with another target of 30 million seedlings. But we must do more than plant. We must nurture, because as we know, a seedling is a promise. A mature tree is a legacy. We must protect these young trees from bushfires, illegal logging and encroachment of activities like illegal mining, which we are tackling or head on with our hard-working forestry guards in collaboration with the security services.
The announcement, however, sits in sharp tension with the unresolved status of the EI 144. Environmentalists and conservation advocates have repeatedly questioned how a government can credibly commit to planting tens of millions of trees while a legal instrument authorizing the removal of protected forest land remains on the books.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice Sedu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. And we say Barika Disanla to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Do continue with us on New Day.
You like that, and everything around you will be affected.
Alhaji dancing and sitting down.
No, I'm not Alhaji yet. The reason is that
you haven't gone to Mecca.
Yes, I'm going to go to Mecca, but
you haven't gone to Mecca.
Yusuf Akable this morning. Good morning to
Akable.
Fatih.
That's my no. I also haven't been to Mecca. There are a few dynamics in my family. Even though it's a Muslim background, some of us are Christians and some of us are Muslims. So I haven't been to Mecca yet, but you can call me by my proper true Hausa name this morning or nothing name. Fatima 2. Fatima 2 is my name, but the short form is of course Fatih. So you can call me Fatih this morning. And now where?
Oh,
what's your name?
Sharifa Idrisu.
Sharifa Idrisu. Yes. But I'm going to adopt the surname of my brother.
Okay.
Alhaji Rashid Adams.
Okay.
Alhaji Rashid Adams of Akwe Allah House in Hohoe. Alhaji Rashid Adams, Akwe Allah House in Hohoe. All my grand aunties, my grandmothers, my grandfathers. It's a big compound house.
Wow.
And I know it's happening today. Good morning to all of you. And to the Adamu family, Manan, Aziz, Fatao, Hajia Fati. The list is endless. It's a lot of kids in that house also. About 23 brothers and sisters. So to the Adamu family as well, good morning. And to the man who has married me but has never taken care of me, Alhaji Biniye Bushele, good morning to you. I know you'll be calling very, very soon. But of course, Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim family, our loved ones, our friends, those who live with us, those who live outside Ghana, everywhere in the world. We are wishing you Eid Mubarak this morning. So what did you say again, Alhaji Husseini? What's your name again?
Yusuf.
Yeah,
Joseph. Yusuf Akable.
Yusuf Akable. And what's your name? Sharifa Idrisu, as well as Fatima Adams. Welcome to our special Eid edition of TV3 Newday. It's been 30 hard days of fasting. And, you know, much as fasting is good, I think the Muslim fasting is one of the hardest because you don't even drink water. For Christians, you're allowed to drink water, but for them, you cannot even drink water until you break. And I think that's difficult. And it got my brother very irritable in the last few days. Rashid, when you're talking to Kakrana di Bofu. Because... and just when it's about to be 6 o'clock, he'll start announcing about 6 Small no neighbor. Alhaji Rashid Adams, good morning to you. I hope that you're going to have a great time today. My love and my greetings to the extended family all the way in Hohoe, Akwela House. God bless all of you. You have any greetings you want to send out this morning?
Oh, yes.
Alhaji Kundu, good morning to you as well. Alhaji Alasan, the husband of Shamima Muslim, happy Eid Mubarak. And then, to the blessed memory, the family of Alhaji Mutala Muhammad as well. We're sending all of you love this morning. Allah continue to bless all of you. Any greetings you want to send out?
Yes, special Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim friends across the country. My friend Sharif Adam is a lawyer as well. Mimuna to Habib and your husband, Mr. Habib. Eid Mubarak to both of you. I know that the period has been one of sacrifice and discipline, and we say that may Allah answer all your prayers on this magical day. Sharifa, you have something to say?
Also to all my Muslim friends, as well, brothers and sisters all across the country and the world. It's a great Eid Mubarak to you. So, Barika Disala from me to you.
All right.
Yes.
Anyway, this morning, the special announcement is that because I have a Muslim background myself, you know, when it comes to Eid, it's a lot of saraka that we do. We yachad.
What's saraka?
Saraka.
Okay.
Yes. Yachad. So it's giving of alms out there. So it means that if it's food that you have, if it's meat that you have, it's money that you have, you show as much love as you can. Inti Anope being a special day in the lives of our Muslim brothers and sisters. The cash out this morning is totally different. And this time around, listen, I'm not playing. The first amount I'm giving during this intro, me try 9 o'clock before I start giving out the money. So the first person is winning 2,000 Ghana cedis. Second person is winning 3,000.
Wow.
And then the third person will win 5. And the fourth would also win 5. So altogether, I'm giving out 15,000 Ghana cedis this morning. So first person 2,000, second person 3,000, 5,000 and another 5,000. So get in the game now. And you know I'm good for it. When I promise, you know I will deliver. Mate, let's see what's happening on the dashboard right now. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. You're choosing option 8, which is the MG jackpot option. Option 8, MG jackpot option. It's a special Eid Mubarak cash out session with us here this morning on TV3 Newday. *439#. First person winning 2,000, second winning 3,000, third 5,000, and the fourth person would also win 5,000. Altogether, a whopping 15,000 Ghana cedis going out there for all of you who are going to play as many times as possible. Please don't choose option 2. You're going to choose option 8. And of course, remember, Ponchine, 200 Ghana ain't to mentor. And then 200 Ghana ain't to mentor, but at least remember 200 Ghana cedi for you to buy credits this morning. So *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber, please get in the game. Oh guys, are you going to help me? Get in the game. Yes. When I say get in the game, also bones him. Hey, are you here? Bones him. Yeah. So *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber, get playing right now. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, and 5,000.
And we are giving the 2,000 before 9 a.m.
We are giving. No, I'm giving the 2,000 now, just before the big issue. And possibly even the 3,000 before the big issue. So please make sure you get playing Bobo Sisia and play as many times as possible. But for the rest of the show, Akabale, what are we doing? Charlie, tomatoes, you know. And let's say, Miss Ro, that after Eid Mubarak celebrations today, we probably will run out of tomatoes because there'll be a lot of cooking. But that directive that has come from Burkina Faso is a very crucial hard blow for Ghana, seeing as we depend on Burkina Faso for tomato imports. Almost 75% of the tomatoes we use in Ghana is from Burkina Faso, and because they are also beefing up their tomato industry, they've set a tomato factory and they need all the raw material to be able to get that factory running. So there's a new directive from Burkina Faso to all African and non-African countries that they export tomatoes to, and they're saying no more tomato exportation from Burkina Faso. And Ghana is one of the countries that imports tomatoes in large quantities from Burkina Faso. How that directive is going to affect us in the coming days, we can already tell, we can already feel the heat. But there was an interesting conversation yesterday on Ghana Tonight. I've forgotten the name of the gentleman, but he seems to know a lot about what he is talking about. He says, listen, all he needs is about 8 months to 12 months. We would be able to produce tomato. I would love that we get the tape, but even if we cannot get it, he said that he can produce, or we can produce tomatoes.
I mean, it's not very difficult to grow tomatoes. In fact, I've started clearing
into it.
No, I've actually started clearing my garden 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I've started. I want to do it on the nursery before I put it on the soil proper. And even before then, I had experimented with it in the backyard.
And it works.
Yeah, it works.
It works, right?
I just want to now do it a bit more with a bit more of pepper and the others. You see, the point is that. You remember a couple of months back, I think a month ago, when we talked about the attack that had happened in Burkina Faso.
Yes, it was a month ago.
You know, we all said that it was very surprising that Ghana was relying on Burkina Faso for tomatoes.
Exactly.
And a month down the line, this directive has come out, basically shutting the door to us. And so it's a big problem that we must discuss and look into as well. So we'll have a discussion on that, on big issue as well. Later on, we'll have a conversation about issues relating to illegal mining. The government, through one of the initiatives, have decided that they are going to register all small-scale miners across the country. This comes within the same week that we had the president talk about the fact that they even know that persons within their own political party are also involved in illegal mining. So we'll have a conversation about those two main issues. But I guess Beatrice, Sharifa and Fatty, you both will be very much concerned about the tomato situation.
Yes, honestly,
before you continue though, because you mentioned Sharifa and Fatty, the Gele Center are those who gave us this beautiful headgear or the style that we are wearing. Ella of the Gilly Center, thank you very much. She woke up very early this morning to come to costume to actually wait for us to help us with the duku. Ella, you didn't tell us the name of this one. I know this is abaya. The outfit we're wearing is abaya, but the duku there, Ella, you didn't tell me. Ella, you are still in the costume room. Please come to studio right now and come and tell me the name of the duku that we are wearing. But Ella of the Gilly Center, they are on Instagram and Facebook as well. If you need duku to be tied anywhere at all, please call Ella from the Gilly Center. She'll be there to help you out. Yes, back to you, Sharifa.
Yes, and anyway, she's very fast.
Very,
As
very
we were
fast,
finishing up our makeup, she was just, you know,
she's
doing
super
her
fast.
stuff.
Yeah, she's super fast.
And great.
Yeah.
So I don't think the word I have is concern. In as much as this may be a big blow, for me, it's a blessing in disguise.
Right.
And we should have done this long time ago. I've heard concerns about the fact that the Burkina Faso tomato tastes better.
Yes.
But you can adopt to the taste of what you grow in Ghana. Because in Nigeria, when they started this campaign to get their local rice, people complained about the taste, but eventually they've gotten used to it. You go to a lot of restaurants in Nigeria and you get local rice cooked in jollof form, in fried rice, and I think there's a way they call their fried rice. I'm trying to recollect the name. So for me, yes, it may be a big blow in the meantime, but it really causes us to wake up and say that we have land, and even the kind of tomatoes we get from Burkina Faso, based on which part of the country we find ourselves, we can grow something that is similar. And really, it's an opportunity. We want to industrialize Ghana. Let's grow as much as possible and even go into processing tomatoes. And
but one of the questions that I've also been asking, I cook a lot. And yes, my family loves my cooking. I'm waiting for you guys to come and enjoy it as well. And the question I've always asked, I'm a lover of Navrongo tomatoes. That's how we call it, the ones from Burkina Faso, because of how fresh, how tasty, and how
fleshy.
meaty.
Yes, fleshy.
And how meaty it is. But wait, no, I just want to ask a question. We've been importing these type of tomatoes, or this variant, this very Navrongo variant from Burkina Faso for a very long time. In modern technology, greenhouse farming and all of that, how come...
But that's the point I'm actually coming
to.
How
come we've not been able to grow and cultivate that type of... Listen, I went to America to experience greenhouse farming in a very vast acre of land. And they are able to actually grow a hybrid of orange. And even, so sometimes they are able to take oranges that are yellow. Some are also red. They merge it, and by the time the actual fruit comes out, you have a cocktail of orange in the same fruit.
There's a to be fair, there's a greenhouse farm at Lagos.
Of course, we do greenhouse farming in Ghana here.
But
of course, we do it. So I'm just asking that all these years, how come we've not been able to grow that?
Because it's easy for us to get it.
Exactly.
And I think that we've been sleeping.
Listen, even when you cook, those times when I used to live in Hohoi, that we didn't live like in a proper community. It was a compound house somewhere with bushes. When you finish cooking, utu tomatoes by the time you open your eyes, tomatoes are growing right in front of your house or in your backyard. So we've got the water, we've got the soil, we've got everything to make it grow. How come we cannot grow the same variants that we get from Navrongo all these years? Is there a technique? I mean,
our lands are very fertile. I don't live too far. I don't live on the outskirts of Accra. And yet, just throw something there, and in the next few weeks or days, you see that the thing is growing. And so, really, we don't have any excuse
we do
for
not.
being where we are
at all.
I think that this is actually a blessing. If we want to deal with this problem, we can. And like Blaise said, it doesn't take long to grow tomato. How much? I mean, how long? Is it up to 3 months to harvest?
Yeah, it doesn't take long at all. I mean, especially around this season as well. And we say the point about the tasting, we say it for almost every item. You know, I like alasa a lot, and someone gave me some. Portia Gabo, actually, our colleague here, she gave me some. Apparently, she said it's the Togolese one. I didn't even know that.
And it was tastier?
Yeah, it was tastier. It was way tastier. I didn't even know that there was something like Togolese alasa. So then the other time I was in traffic and they were selling some, and the woman came to offer some, and I was like, oh, I want the Togolese one.
So wait,
does it look any different from our own?
No,
yeah,
so
they look a bit bigger. But the key
I wish we
difference
could
in the
get
taste
someone
itself.
from the agric industry to tell us how the taste comes about, because
no, but I mean,
is it the water?
No, but we are in 2026, so no matter how it is done,
we should be able to grow that variant here in Ghana. Yeah, it can be.
I don't think it makes sense for us to satisfactorily say that we want Burkina tomato. You say called
Navrongo.
It's not satisfactory to just say that we want Burkina. I want to use the Burkina. If you say Navrongo, someone will think it's from Navrongo. You say that because you want the Burkina Faso one. You just go and buy that one and come. Or because you want the Togolese one, we just rely on the Togolese one always. Go and bring it. And the Togolese alasa is more expensive than the.
And Joe can come actually on our Facebook feed. You can send us messages. We'll read them as well. He says KNUST grows and harvests the Burkina tomato, so it's workable. So it means that on a light scale,
exactly, that's the point.
On a light scale, we can also do it.
Market. Because even at Legon, I know that they have a whole greenhouse farm where they experiment and they are trying also things. They have the farm produce sale points where they sell products made from their farms as well, crops made from the farms as well. So that is the point that we have to get to, and it's an interesting conversation.
And you know, yesterday I was having a conversation when I saw, I think the news broke, was it 3 days ago? Or it was actually yesterday? Yes. In the afternoon, I was having a conversation with somebody that I remember when I was growing up, there used to be these tiny tomatoes.
Yeah, the very small
ones,
cherry tomatoes.
So nice. I don't know where they are now.
Yeah, I know, right?
We can bring all these, back and really make money as a country
I think we've been sleeping on our capabilities in this country. God has blessed Ghana with almost everything that we need. Elsewhere, they are not even able to grow their own fruits and vegetables. They have to import. But we have the right environment, we have the water, we have the land, we have the soil, we've got the black soil. There's everything available to us. So the question is, in 2026, why are we still getting our aunties and our mothers killed on our borders because of terrorist attacks, just because they're going to bring us tomatoes? And why are we all crying foul and screaming? And already market women are telling us that maybe in the next 2 weeks, the price at which you would buy tomato today would go up. Why should it go up? This is 2026. Why are we still importing tomatoes from Burkina Faso? Was it over the weekend? I was actually watching TV3, and there was a documentary, I think it was about the Echampon time or just before independence or a little after. I was watching the documentary, and yes, the Prime Minister at the time was talking about Ghana being a net exporter of food. This was 69 years ago. So if we're talking 69 years ago and Ghana being an exporter of food, why are we still importing tomatoes from Burkina Faso? And now that they are trying to drive their agriculture to a very high pedestal, we are crying foul here because tomatoes are not going to be coming from Burkina Faso. And the conversation I was talking about yesterday also now came down to onions. The onions we eat in Ghana, most of it is also not from here. It's from Niger and some of the northern and Mali. Some of them are from the northern African countries. Are we also still waiting?
As well.
Exactly. Are we still waiting to receive another directive? And we use Jene for everything.
Yes. And I love my garlic as well. Sometimes when you go to the market, they'll tell you, I think there's the brown or the purple one, and then there's the white one. So they will tell you which one is coming out of the country and which one is locally made. And so, I mean, we import almost everything.
I think it's a big conversation
we need to work on it.
We'll have to have at some point about ensuring that we produce and eat what we eat. I think I can live with importing tomato paste. I can live with that.
Yeah, tomato paste.
I can live with that.
But, that's fine. But not the tomato, the fresh. It's the fresh.
Because I mean, with the processed one, you can argue that maybe technologically we don't have the funds and everything. But the farming, at least we should get to that level and deal with it. Especially how far we have come as a country.
But you know, is it not a shame that Burkina Faso suddenly is saying, okay, we need to take our industrialization seriously, and we need the goods you are producing and to go into the factories or whatever they are putting in place to process their tomatoes. And we've been talking about this for years, and yet we don't seem to be making a lot of progress processing the kind of things that we have to make extra money out of them.
Anyway, we'll activate the phone lines this morning, more so because it's Eid Mubarak. Our Muslim family are out there, and I'm sure that by now in all the Muslim communities. You're getting your outfits ready. The makeup studios, the local makeup studios in our Zongos are very busy this morning because, of course, the ladies would have to look nice, and the people who do the henna tattoos and all would also
that's
be.
What it's called, eh?
Yeah, it's henna. Yeah, so
Like that,
exactly
like that,
to your sleeve. They would also be very busy this morning. But we're activating the phone line so you can call and wish your friends and family well. And of course, the tomato issue is also one that is rife that we are all talking about. If you want to contribute to that, you can as well. But most importantly, we are dishing out 15,000 Ghana cedis this morning. You can dial *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. First winner will take away 2,000, second winner 3,000, third winner 5,000, and the fourth winner would also take away 5,000. Mate, if you're behind the console, I want to see what's happening on the dashboard. I want to see what's going on the dashboard. But please choose option 8. Do not choose option 2. Please choose option 8. Leslie, are you there? Let's see. Okay, whilst we get ready for you to show us what's happening, because I want to give the first 2,000 Ghana cedis now. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. And Harriet, you would have to call all the winners for me this morning. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN.
Mama Cash is in the house.
Cash money cookie. This money, cash money Fatima. Cash money Fatima.
Yes.
Cash money Fatima. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
we
ma'am.
Can hear Harriet.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then more control room because it's Salah. So
but this is the chicken Salah, right?
This one.
No,
we're quite Salah. Yebeku name. Mimi fie. Akwela fie. Chicken every day.
Okay.
Chicken every day. Lamb. So every day salad here and yebeku nimfie. Rashid alone has about 47 of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, on his farm, on his ranch. Okay. About 47 of them.
Alhaji, are you watching?
Yes, Alhaji is watching. Oh, worry, I'm family rather Mawana.
Okay. I thought you were going to pass on Alhaji.
All right, so our first winner of 2,000 Ghana cedis this morning.
Like my number.
It looks like no. You haven't.
First winner.
You haven't played.
2,000. Boy, me try the ball.
You haven't played. It's not your number.
1 minute.
Tell him, check 2,000. Cecilia. First winner of 2,000 Ghana cedis this morning is Baraka de Salah.
Don't call me.
Yeah. And that's our first winner for the morning. 0244-834. 3 numbers capital. Congratulations. Congratulations.
That's actually early.
Yes, congratulations.
We promised we have delivered.
I promise I have delivered. It is saying I got 3,000, 5,000, and another 5,000. But you have to play as many times as possible to increase your chance of winning. So get playing now. *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Let's get on the phone lines and speak to the winner. But in the meantime, welcome to this morning. Harriet, let's play the montage. When we come back, we'll speak to the person who has won the first 2,000 Ghana cedis. Welcome back. It's a special Eid Mubarak edition of TV3 Newday. In no time, we'll be getting into the big issue, but very rife is the tomato directive that has come, the tomato ban directive or the tomato importation ban directive that has come from Burkina Faso, the government of the Republic of Burkina Faso. They say no more importation or exportation.
I was just coming to say that.
No more
it's
exportation.
An interesting way to refer to it. So it's an
no
export
more exportation.
Ban.
So it's an export ban. Yeah, so it's an export ban. But here in Ghana, importation. Yeah, English. So so we can talk about the tomato ban directive that is coming from Burkina Faso and how it's going to affect us. I need the people who are into agriculture to call us this morning to tell us if it's possible to start growing and harvesting our tomatoes right here in Ghana in the next 8 to 12 months. Tell us if it's possible. And the women out there who who also use a lot of tomatoes in cooking. Today is a grand day in Ghana and the rest of the world. There'll be a lot of cooking today, and I'm sure you already bought your tomatoes that you need for your cooking this morning. But how much of it did you buy yesterday, and maybe today as well? We'll ask our market women how much you'll be going for. I'm sure the spike will start reflecting somewhere next week, or most probably in 2 weeks. Call us and let us know.
The market this weekend.
And you can also let us know what your well wishes are for your family and friends, especially in the Muslim fraternity. But we are also praying that the war that has escalated in the Middle East, we are praying that you guys will cease fire so we can have some peace. There's been a lot of turmoil in Iran, especially, and all the neighboring Gulf countries, including Qatar, Dubai, there's Lebanon. There's a whole lot of heat in that region, and we're praying that in this very calm Ramadan season, calm will be restored, calm will prevail, cool heads will lie, and we can have our world back the way it was. Fuel prices are going high, and it looks like the dynamics in no time will start affecting Ghana, because when fuel goes high, prices on the market go high, transportation goes high, everything tends to go high. So we are praying that Allah will listen to our cry and our prayer. And I'm told Anan is the first caller this morning. Hello, Anan. I'm told you're calling from Sapeman. Is that correct?
Yeah, hope you are doing fine.
Yes.
Greetings to Papa Ro and then all the team, Johnny, everyone.
I'm sure they are watching. I'm sure he's watching. He would hear.
This morning, let's take Honorable Martin Jibril and also wish him like Kadisala and then Papa Bisu, everyone.
Okay.
Okay. You remember I have said this so many times. I was a young person that I decided to do a farming. And I went and did a pineapple farming at Ekunfi. Where the Ekunfi pineapple juice is the same as
Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
When I harvested the pineapple, I couldn't get the buyers. So
there's something else that's playing in your background. If you can turn down the volume, we would be grateful.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's still playing. We can hear it.
So what I was saying was, when I harvested the pineapple, I couldn't get the buyers.
Are you still on the line?
We've lost him, it looks.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're still on the line. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So when I harvested the pineapple, I didn't get buyers. So it pushed me into very difficult situation. So imagine now our sisters and brothers who farm at the north. Since last year, a sister went and bought a beans of bag for 1,300. Now the beans is how much now? And if government able to do something, a factory, so that we also buy those kind of things, like those who do tomatoes and things, and distribute it across our own country, Ghana here, they will benefit more than people will import some from outside, so that our own farmers will be pushing into poverty or whatever because their own was not buying.
Okay.
So we beg the directive that Burkina has given to the authorities. Ghana, we should take that advantage to do something, so that the country will eat what we grow and then benefit from what we also do.
Right. Eat what we grow what we eat, I think should be the mantra right now. And I love the positivity with which most Ghanaians are also welcoming the exportation ban on tomatoes from Burkina Faso. I love the positivity. It tells me that we have become very dependent on other countries for what we eat here. And since we've got all the resources, it is possible to grow whatever we need to eat here in Ghana. And I hope that that's the spirit that most of us will continue in, so that this will turn out to be a positive green light for Ghana. And guys, we've got the winner of the first 2,000 Ghana cities on the line this morning. Hello!
Hello.
Charlie, by your energy for the 2,000 there, should we do it again? I'm going to say the hello and you're going to give me the response again. Hello!
Hello.
What's your name, darling, and where are you talking to us from?
Hey, me if I've won 2,000, you ask me my name, I'll not mention it.
Why? Your family will come for
start
you.
Calling me that I've won something.
Your name and where you're talking to us from, darling?
It looks like he's
you're very are you speaking to us on speaker? If it's on speaker, take it off, and because we can hardly hear you. I didn't catch your name.
My name is Amnia.
Ni
from where, please?
Asylum down.
The asylum down part I heard, but yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations to you. But can you confirm to us how much you have received?
Yes, I received 2,000 Ghana.
Okay, congratulations to you. Is this the first time you have cashed out with us?
It's not the first time, but this is my first win.
Okay, so this is your first win. It's not the first time you have played, but this is your first win. Congratulations to you. And on such a special day like this, you've got extra 2,000 to make yourself and your loved ones very happy. But don't forget to give some of that out, because that is what Ramadan also stands for.
I will.
Enjoy your 2,000 Ghana cedis, and I do hope that you win more in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Beatrice, let's get back on the telephone lines and talk about the matters.
Sharifa
Idrisu is going to pick that call from Master Planner.
Yes, we do have Master Planner on the line. Good morning to you, Master Planner, and Eid, happy Eid.
Thank you very much, Haji Beatrice. Today your name is what?
Sharifa Idrisu.
Hey.
Yes, Hajia Fati Adams.
Now on this note, let me say justice to Harriet. Harriet is at the background. You didn't give her any title.
But Harriet, you didn't tell us what name you want. Harriet, what name do you want to be called today? Sadia. Oh, okay. Okay, so Harriet is Halima to Sadia. Asumda. Halima to Sadia Asumda. So that's Harriet's name for you.
Exactly.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me say a special good morning to my brother Kabil, Alaji.
Yusuf
today.
Yes. And then Roland, Papa, today I know you go and take some house of cocoa as usual. Yes, TV3, you are really doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you. And then all the tools and equipment that you'll be using for your work on this special day, may Allah grant it to you. And then I pray your salaries will also be increased.
Amen.
Let me take this opportunity to tell your manager to increase your salary, because you really do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
On the more serious note, let me wish Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Domia, President of Ghana 2029, inshallah, a happy, glorious Eid. It's a Mubarak to him. Inshallah, all his prayers that he went to Saudi Arabia to pray, I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has answered it already. So he should come down and then keep focused and work. We will support him to achieve his goal, inshallah. And then lawyer Harry Nanabuachi today is Alaji Bawa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, lawyer Harry Nanabuachi is the current MPP national organizer. But
yes,
today,
he's Alaji Bawa.
He's Alaji Bawa. So Alaji Bawa Nanabi, I wish you a happy Eid Mubarak, and then all MPP executives. You see, on the issue of the tomato, let me start with it. I think Ghana, we have to take a clue from this, because the tomatoes we always go to Burkina to import, we can clearly cultivate it here. You see, when you are planting tomato, it takes you about 2 to 4 months, depending on the variety. I don't think that variety of tomato can grow in Burkina. That is mostly desert, and it cannot grow in Ghana. It can be possible. It is possible. So let's try. Those that went there last time and they brought some variety of Burkina tomato, the government should try its best to get those tomatoes. And then this Agric Ministry is doing a fantastic job. The same way we are doing cocoa and kitten, we can do tomatoes in kitten. That takes now by 3-4 months time. I know it will grow because tomatoes doesn't take up to 5 months.
Yeah.
2 months, 3 months, 4 months. The seedling, when you plant them by 3 weeks, it will start germination. You transplant them and then off you go. So we are begging with the president. Now that we will not have any opportunity to go and then import them, let's work hand in hand with Burkina Faso. I know when government officials go there, we can get some varieties and then plant it here. So that's my kind opinion on that. So that our women will stop risking their lives to go there and they will be killed and stuff. This is not the first time they are killing them. It has been happening. But because this came into the media and TV3, you also publicly announced and stuff. That is why it's trending. But it has been happening. So let's all help and then develop Ghana. God bless you.
God bless you too. Let's all help and develop Ghana. Thank you very much for calling in and for sharing your thoughts with us. We do have another caller from Ago in the Ashanti region. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning segment on Newday on TV3.
Hello. Hello, caller from Agogo. Okay, please get on the telephone lines now and call us. That's the number on your screen. Oh, you've got messages for us?
Yeah, there's some messages.
Oh, great.
Aziz Donla, why you say happy Eid to all our Muslims across the globe, especially the good people of Upper West region, including all NDC members. Indeed, you're all looking fantastic, pretty, attractive, beautiful, gorgeous, and fabulous in your outfits. Best wishes to all time best.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Don't let us keep the caller waiting. Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, sir?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Wesley, calling from Asante Achimno,
Wesley, Eid Mubarak to you and your family and loved ones.
Thank you. I want to wish my coordinating director, Adam Habib, Eid Mubarak.
All right. Is that all?
No, I think the challenge with the tomatoes issue, when it comes to Agogoye, majority of the farmers are into tomatoes farming. And then they produce tomatoes in large quantity. I think this year, Mahama even came, Mahama specifically came to purchase some of the tomatoes from the farmers. The challenge, I think, has been the logistic issues. Most of them far away from the hinterlands. So they find it difficult bringing those produce to the various market centers. So I think that if government can come in and support these farmers with logistics to enable them to transport some of these produce to the main centers of the main centers or the farming areas. And also, farmers need to be educated on the use of fertilizer. Most of the produce that they transfer the tomatoes, when within 3 days, 4 days, the tomatoes get spoiled. So in Agogo here, the price of tomatoes are very cheap.
Okay.
And I'm inviting all Ghanaians from other sectors that they should try and come to Agogo here. They produce tomatoes in large quantities. A whole bowl of tomatoes can be sold as cheap as 100 Ghana cedis.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay, so we should come. So much as we're in Ghana, we should come to Agogo to import the tomatoes to the rest of Ghana.
Looking for market.
Okay.
Yes, the MP sought the MP Oini. He came on the national television, produced Ghanaians to actually come and
I remember
that.
The independent.
I remember. The independent candidate.
He did a story. He was talking about how tomatoes were available in the present
That's really
so
nice.
in Agogo.
That's Ashanti region.
Okay. All right. So that's some good education this morning.
Yes.
Please head to Agogo. That's where you can find some good tomatoes in Ghana as well.
Yeah. This one, I have a message here from Stephen Peng. Stephen Peng.
Oh, yes.
He sent us.
Yeah,
he sent.
Yeah.
You get a pictures.
Yeah, we got the pictures as well. I can really see. Really one of the special one. No, but Stephen watches every morning and sends all of us messages.
Choose one person and send it.
What is it?
Blay.
His love is big enough to share. It's not just for you. Nadia Sim Cranny. Na Bema Pondo na we say no bad anyway. Can you imagine? Salam Dahamani says, good morning, guys. Happy Eid Mubarak to all staff of TV3. Oh, Cookie T, you are the reason I've never won the cash out because you failed to speak even basic Kusal. Oh. General Salam in Nayoko in Binduri. Binduri too is my village, but it is your fault. you have not come for me from Accra for us to go to the village. Please, today when I close, make sure that the bus is waiting for me. I need to come to Biduri at least this weekend so that I can speak some Kusal from next week. I am sorry.
How do you say good morning, Kusal?
I think it's Lawela. Isn't it Lawela? Lawela is how are you?
Yes.
Harriet,
let me read the message Blay didn't want to read.
Okay.
From Mr. Stephen Penn. So, Blay, he took a special picture of you alone.
You alone.
And then me,
There's
and then
a picture of
all
you
of
alone
us.
too. There's a picture of you alone. There's no picture of Kiki alone.
Please, let me read his message. He says, good morning, Alhaji Akable. So I'll add the Yusuf because he added Yusuf to his name. So Alhaji Yusuf Akable, Hajia Fati Kuki, and Hajia Sherifa Beatrice. Every one of you is cute. Happy Eid. Happy Eid to you as well. And maybe I should read one more before you come in.
Okay.
And this is from Chachuchi Kata Jr., Wow West. He says, good morning, Hajia Beatrice, Hajia Sherifa, and Hajia Kuki, Hajia Fati. And Eid Mubarak to all Muslims globally. May Allah bless our homeland, Ghana. Bless the president with fresh ideas to take the country to the promised land. Greetings to my boss, Honorable Peter Lanchini Tobu, MP for Wa West constituency.
Okay.
May Allah continue to protect him for Wa West. Take note. Hajia Beatrice, I already submitted your Eid package to Aziz Donla. I didn't know whether I had to read that, but thank you very much.
Ernest Padmore of Bing Padmore, I've seen your message on Facebook. Eid Mubarak to you and the rest of the family as well. Sherita and the kids. Diana came. Message Bay. Stephen Quang
you were not listening to
so and Ernest Padmore of Bing
now almost a package B now. I say hey, I'm not supposed to.
I want to me a kind.
Oh, I jump in message in the crowd.
Sherifa to Gulu. All right, then let's get more messages on here. Gordy Edu JMP says, good point. Tomatoes in Kete should be promoted as part of the Feed Ghana program. There be tomatoes in there, you're penning Kete. I know there you're penning.
We can have the cherry ones. They are very nice.
I know they are penning. But we have a special guest on the phone right now.
Okay.
This woman. Oh, she's not on the telephone. Oh, Hajia Madina. What's her name actually?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Freedom fighter, freedom fighter, yes. Hajia the freedom fighter. The other time she sent us salam meat, very, very spicy and very sumptuous.
Yes,
Hajia,
yes,
special greetings to you this morning. And Alazi Nyamfrey.
No, but around this time, because virtually all my Muslim friends have been sending messages to me.
But he sent a message on Facebook, though. I saw his message on Facebook.
Oh, really?
That he's watching us live. Aladi, how are you? We don't understand that you haven't called us this morning.
Of all days.
I'm sure he's struggling on the telephone line. So
have you read the one from Aziz Zola?
No, what's it?
I took that one.
You took that one. Okay, so thank you very much. Joseph has already read it. Mr. Yusuf, yes.
Yeah, Yusuf Akabe. Can I read the one from Mary Obapa? Says Togo is producing vegetables for Ghana with irrigation, and we in the Volta region are safe from the tomato issue. We are just lazy in Ghana. So where is the one village, one dam? Legitimate question. And more here. Oh, Giovanni Caleb, good morning to you as well. Okay, Padmore. I've read that one from Padmore already. Kweku Kumi, I beg your pardon, says, good morning, Krum. This message, is for Kukuti. This one is an attack on me.
Aish.
Or see, today is my second time hearing you on set saying you used to live at Hohoi. The first day you mentioned that you went to school in Bahome, LA. How can I contact you, please? Okay. Back door. Let me pin your message down so that I can. Were you my mate in school or something? Anyway, more messages here. Hey! Aladi is on the line finally. Aladi.
Hello.
Aladi, Baraka de Salah to you. Fatima.
Wow. Different names.
Why are you giving me Shemima's name when I already have a Muslim name? Alaji, this marriage, dear. Alaji, my name is Fatima.
Fatima, you
yes.
know Fatima.
Oh.
No, now why you not say Adia Lati?
Adia Lati.
Adia Lati.
Okay. Adia Lati. That sounds good.
Adia Lati.
Okay. Adia Lati. Oh, okay. All right. Adia Lati.
Alaji Yusuf. Your name
Alaji Yusuf overall.
Your name is Alaji Alasan. Do you know that?
Oh, really?
Alaji Alasan.
Do you know why? Shamima Muslim's husband is Alaji Alasan, and he greets him every morning. So that's why he's saying your name should be Alaji Alasan.
Let me by listening to our Muslim brothers and sisters, especially my senior brother, Comrade Alaji Yusuf, and Honorable Haruna Idrisu Gangu, and my municipal chief executive, Senior Alasan Bagaman, and MP for Pusiga, as you have done that. Yes. Let me send like this to this Honorable Sojini, Honorable Apayita, entire modern regional MP, Dr. Sharif Abdul Hadi, MP from Natong, and Abdul.
We lost Alaji.
Yeah, he struggled to get on today,
yes. and I was waiting for him to give us his last phrase of
it's all good. It's all good. If you haven't been able to call, we do apologize, but Eid Mubarak to all of our Muslim family out there. Now, reminding you that Ramadan means together with loved ones. Ramadan also means together at iftar. Ramadan means together in spirit. And of course, Ramadan means together with Lipton. So this season, even though the fasting is over, make every moment better with a warm cup of Lipton yellow label tea, brewed with love and served with a smile. So share more meals, check up on loved ones more often than not, and spend more time in reflection and conversation. This Ramadan, do more with a cup of Lipton, because tea is for togetherness. And all together, we are wishing all of our Muslim family out there in Ghana, globally, in all of our zongos. Oh, Aisha Yakubu, special good morning to you as well. Abdallah, good morning. Napo Ali, good morning. And are we forgetting anyone? So we have
Abdallah, we have
Mutala, Nura Mohammed, Mutala Yakubu. He's a Muslim. He's Christian, right?
Christian, yes.
I mean, to all of you here at TV3 who are Muslims, we are extending a special greetings to you this morning. Please keep watching. We'll be right back with a big issue.
Thank you for staying with us here on New Day. I am Yusuf Akable. You can call me Joseph Akable always. Thank you so much for staying with us. And to all our Muslim friends, Eid Mubarak once again. A lot of you have been sending your messages. You know what we want you to send. You can send the messages, but send all other things as well. It's now time for a big issue here on New Day. A very important subject matters that we'll be looking at. We'll start off with the issues surrounding the tomato situation. We'll deal with that as we have continued. A lot of you called into the first segments to share your views on that. We will deal with that. When we are done with that, then we'll move into the illegal mining conversation and what is being done with regards to small-scale mining and the registration. As always, a big issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast, and so we thank them. And the message they have for you this morning is that whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through a dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University of Gold Coast gives you the options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security, diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security, diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open. April admission is now open as well. You can apply today because at University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning and entry as well to ensure that you also have flexible terms of payment and you can study around your work and life and choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments as well. Special thanks to University of Gold Coast for sponsoring this segment of the show. Let me introduce you to my guest in the studio this morning. Pius Enam Hajide is a former Deputy Minister of Information. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Also in the studio with us this morning, Don Kofuseni, a Deputy Director of Finance and Administration at the National Service Authority. I think I've hosted you once or twice already on the show.
That's true.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you all. We are on holidays. It's very difficult to get people to come out. And so if you make time to come on the holiday, we really appreciate it a lot. Sure. And also Professor Smart Sapon, regular on the show. Once in a while he shows up in the studio. Mostly he connects on Zoom as well. He is with us in the studio. He's Director of Research and Innovation at KSTU. Prof, thank you for joining us as always. And so let's look at the issues relative to the tomato situation, and then let's bring you that statement that was put out by the Burkina Faso authorities, just indicating what they are trying to do with regards to their situation there and the concerns that people have here in the country. So it's a tomato export ban. Economic operators and the general population have been ordered to ensure the supply of tomatoes to national processing units. Export of fresh tomatoes suspended throughout the national territory until further notice. Consequently, the issuance of special airport authorizations, ASE, is suspended. Economic operators who hold valid export authorizations for fresh tomatoes have a period of 2 weeks from the date of signature of communique to complete their export procedures. After this period, the authorizations will be considered null and void. In any event, any violator of this decision is subject to sanctions in accordance with regulations in force, and any case of non-compliance with the provisions of this communique can be reported as well. So already we are hearing from some of our Ghanaian traders in the Ashanti region, especially we've heard from them. They have expressed their concern that could have implications. And during the first segment of the show, some of our colleagues, some of you, our viewers also called into the show to say that you prefer the Navrongo tomatoes. Apparently you call it Navrongo tomatoes, but it's not from Navrongo, it's from Burkina Faso. I want us to listen to some of the market women who have been expressing their concerns first. Then I'll tell you what you've been saying about the Navrongo tomatoes as well.
It was some years I Burkina Faso. And to be the what say 2 years time I am Burkina Faso. The first to be any Ghana. This is a machine sim. As I to Ghana.
Say Ghana mpenyimfo de me putu aba ne say ye kofa won ho me hunu se ntosi nso e ba be ka ho kire se dodo no ayenya no say ebetwa kora enti Ghana mpenyemfo mesra mo ni di mo nsori na yenya ntosi ni enye sa enu 2 weeks no enya de Ghana ha ntosi ebi besi kuma Ghana ama obi anya biedie
ya ho akwadim se e bia te na obete so se de na ya hima ba akone kan te na obete so kwa na ya fa enema nkakra eno bebo asen se impromptu ya yanka bi shemu wo se ma ya nsi kwom akura me fa ne mabiem e ba sa na oni ya ni yie.
Well, interesting there. Interesting. Let me start. Come around the table quick. Let me start from Prof next to me and Prof. You know, a couple of weeks back when the incident happened with the traders who had gone to Burkina Faso, when we were having a discussion, I was making the point that I found it very disturbing that they had gone to Burkina Faso to bring the tomatoes down. And why are we not relying on what we have? Some of our callers tell us that it's not just about supply they are getting there, because there's tomatoes in Ghana. They actually say they prefer the ones from there. They said they are more juicy and they are better. And the question we're asking is that, I mean, in this modern era of technology and everything, the other products are the same thing. In fact, Alasa, they say that they would prefer the Togo one as well. I mean, why are we? It's a bit of a challenge. You would say that we should be having even this conversation in the first place.
Yeah, a very good morning to you. Good morning to my brothers with me here, and then to our cherished viewers. To our Muslim brothers and sisters too, we wish them happy Eid Mubarak. From here we'll be joining them. We'll not let them do alone. So on the issue, I think you are right. It's multifaceted. All right. So number one, we have tomatoes here, and growing up we kept referring to Akumadan tomatoes and those other areas where tomatoes were grown in large quantities. So we have some amount of tomatoes here. I don't know whether the issue is with its insufficiency, but even if it is a matter of its insufficiency, it would have meant that we have to upscale our farming on the tomatoes. But that aside, there is an issue of the taste also. You referred to it rightly. So they say the tomato from Côte d'Ivoire is, I don't know, tastes nicer in terms of its shelf life to last longer than the ones we have here and all those things. So taste also comes in. So I've mentioned one. Perhaps the one we have is not up to the number we need to take care of all of us. And then the second thing is the taste. But if these two issues are our issues, I think we can have homegrown solutions to them. Because continuous reliance on Burkina Faso or anywhere else for what you consume daily is kind of a risky move to take. For example, if I take in oxygen and the source of the oxygen I take is controlled by somebody else, let's say Côte d'Ivoire is the one who supplies us oxygen, and we do not do anything about it as a people and we continue to allow that to stay, we are seriously living on a time bomb. The day they will say we are taking off our air, what will happen to us? So I think as a state and as a people, because the taste issue is not about the state, Ghanaians have a lot of taste for foreign goods. I don't know why. So much so that they see Togo as a foreign country. Their alansa is better than...
I didn't even know that there was something like Togo alansa till I was given some. And when I went to town market and I asked, they said, oh yeah, it's actually more expensive than the local one.
Yeah, you can imagine. And we see, and I'm referring to Togo and Burkina because I don't see, it's only administrative boundaries, they are divisions. They are the same people. When you are going to Ivory Coast, there's a town in Bia West called Akatiso. The town is Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire. It's one town. It's called Akatiso. You are here, the primary school is Ghana, and at the back of the primary school where the children play is Côte d'Ivoire. So if you say, I like Côte d'Ivoire tomatoes, what are you saying? You are not saying anything. So that thing we call taste for foreign things. We taste and we even forget that Côte d'Ivoire and Togo are not foreign. Burkina is not. I don't see Burkina as a foreign country. I see it as just like Ghana. So we must, as a people, work on our taste, and then the production must also increase here in Ghana. We have the land, we have the potential. In the past, we were able to do large-scale tomato farming and all those things. Now, technology have come, the greenhouse centers are increasing. They can grow and supply us the quantities that we need. I am told we need some investment of about $4 million USD to be able to upscale our tomato farming to satisfy the quantity we need. That can be done. And this is an opportunity for businessmen in the agro industry to take this thing up. We have discouraged state-owned farming for some time. We used to have state-owned farming. We have discouraged it. They say government's business is to create an environment for business people to. So this is a serious business opportunity I wish the businessmen in the agro industry can take advantage of and then supply. It is very, very lucrative. It's very, very, the demand is there. So let's look at these things and then begin to, but we cannot fault Burkina Faso. They are a sovereign country. They are protecting their interest. The man recently built a tomato processing factory. And who knows, he needs the raw material to feed that factory. Yeah, so he says those that goes out as fresh tomatoes, he is banning it. He needs the tomatoes to power his processing plant. You can't fault him. And then also our Ghanaians who go there to take the seedlings. I am of the view that when they come, they shouldn't scale it down. We are told that after planting the normal one, the Navrongo tomatoes, they wash the seeds and replant the seeds instead of going back to get the original seedlings. So it's also an opportunity. He's banned the fresh one, but for those who go to buy the seedlings and come and plant, don't scale it down, the quality down by washing and replanting. Just keep going there to import, and government can support in these hard times until such time that we are able to come back to large quantities to feed our people all by ourselves. But let me conclude by saying that if it is Burkina Faso who holds the key to our tomato consumption as a country, then we are sitting on a time bomb. No country must hold the keys to our. So, for example, President Mahama built the Etiabo gas plant at a time that we were relying entirely on Nigeria's gas. The day Nigeria says I have closed my pipeline, gas is not coming. What do you think will happen to Ghana? So we are a sovereign country. We must begin to look inward and solve some of these petty problems of ours. Let us not continually depend on other sovereign states for some petty things we can handle. Else, like the women were frustrated and they were saying the day he says the man should give them no my time cry. You can't bear your amount 2 weeks. It's either you come and clear your tomato in 2 weeks, or after 2 weeks he's shutting his door at you. So let's look inward. I think with these initial thoughts we can consider and then as a people accept the fact that we cannot be here and our survival in any form will be in the hands of another country.
Let me come to Mr. Fuseni now. Mr. Fuseni, I mean, almost all governments, you have one agric program or the other. Yet, I mean, I can remember the previous administration, they had planting for food and jobs. If you even go way back, Operation Feed Yourself, Operation Feed Your Industries, Feed Ghana, Eat Ghana, lots of programs. And yet, we still have this happening. I mean, what's government's own role in terms of how they intend to deal with this issue?
Yeah, so thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. The issue about tomatoes, like Prof rightly said, it's a behavioral pattern. Yes, that one is part. And then our farmers also have a role to play. And then the state also comes in. So those are the three factors at play here. The consumer only wants tomatoes that are reliable. It's not everybody that prefers putting their tomatoes in the freezer. So at least if he puts it in the bowl in the kitchen for some time, it should at least last for a day or two. at least 3 days, the tomatoes should be able to survive for them to use. So that is what the consumer wants. If you check the statistics, Ghana spends annually over 760 million Ghana cedis annually just to import tomatoes, fresh tomatoes. Aside that, we spend another 840 million Ghana cedis to import paste, the tomato paste as well. As I speak to you now, we look at most of our farmers in Ghana. The complaint from the market women is that, yes, we have some also actually trying to plant the Burkina one that at least survives for have a longer shelf life. They plant it. But the challenge they have with the Ghanaian farmer is that after planting the first seed, the original seed, and producing the yield that they want, next one they rewash the seed from the tomatoes they produce and try to plant that one again, which reduces the shelf life of the tomatoes that they produce at the second stage. And that is why the market women don't find our Ghanaian farmers as reliable. So they go to Burkina to bring that one. That has because it will take you like at least a day or two to bring your product from Burkina to Ghana. And those 2 days, the tomatoes should be able to survive the trip. But they are able to bring it from Burkina to Ghana, at times all the way to Kumasi, at times all the way to Koforidua, all the way to Accra. And the tomatoes is able to survive. But most of ours, especially our tomato enclaves like Brekum, Kumadan, Agogo, and the rest, they can go and pick them. By the time they get to Accra, most of the tomatoes are soft. So that is the actual issue that is at play. Currently, if you check world importation of tomatoes, fresh and how do we call it, paste, Ghana is number 2 in the whole world in terms of tomato importation. We are only second to Germany in terms of tomato importation. Unfortunately for us, our local production is not even up to 30%. Because we have tomato paste factories here, even right here in Accra. If you go towards, I think, Jimpa Hachu by stretch, the Jimpa Hachu bypass, there's a new tomato paste factory there, right in the middle of Accra. If you go to Dowenya, there are greenhouses there that are producing tomatoes. If you go to, I think, Denu, Sugakofe, and the rest. As I speak to you now, National Service is in talks with a partner that we just need about $4 million to operationalize our greenhouse that we've actually partnered private investor to actually operationalize the functioning of that greenhouse. And it is going to be able to produce 500,000 metric tons of tomatoes. We are importing just about 100,000 metric tons yearly. So if we can produce 500 metric tons from that particular program alone, it means we can get some for the fresh people and we can also get some for even for the processors. I don't blame Burkina like Prof is saying, because just last 3 weeks, some of our own traders compelled the finance minister to ban land transit of some goods, including tomato paste. And Burkina takes all their tomato paste from Ghana. So if you ban the land transport of tomato paste, it means Burkina is totally out. Because Burkina doesn't have a good terms with Côte d'Ivoire. They are not in good terms. Burkina is not in good terms with even Togo. So how does Burkina get their goods by sea? So the only option left for Burkina now is to also stop the export of raw tomatoes, so that they can also use it to process it in their town, in their country, to be able to do the paste that they want. So yes, if I were in the shoes of Burkina, I would have also taken such a decision. So I don't think it's with malice. Yes, we can have a discussion with them. Let's do it by phases. And then like Prof also said, if you are banning the fresh tomatoes, yes, we have CSRR here who have developed local seedlings that also can compete with the Burkina brand. But it looks as if because our consumers are a bit fixated on this one, that is fine. Then let's also have the seed production here. Even if you not sell us the fresh one, give us the seedlings. Then I think that is where Ministry of Agri can also come in. For us as an institution, we can stick to the laws and obey the laws if we are up and running. And I was joking with Prof that one private businessman in Ghana, one Bugatti is like, how do you even call that? Is it Bugatti? It's like $3 million. They should just sell one and come and support National Service to even start producing our tomatoes. So it is not something that the state alone can do. And this is where businesses should also look at. Because now, when rice was a problem, people started going to rice cultivation. I remember Senyo Hosi, Honorable Akando and the rest, even my own brother Nitiwu, the kind of rice farms they have, you run away. Even some of them have rice mills that they can produce the rice, mill it here. If you go and see it, you think it's from outside. So this is the time tomatoes is also becoming a challenge because we are importing so much. And it's not as if we are not producing. Agogo, there was a glut of tomatoes. The president had to intervene.
Yes.
Go to Brekum and see the same thing. Akumada, it's not as if the tomato is not happening at all in Akumada. It's happening. But the type.
I mean, is it fair to say that there's a bit of a clear-cut policy failure, not just limited to this government? Because, I mean, you made reference to the glut that we had. I can say the same for something like mango. I mean, if I went to Somenia last month, I mean, the mangoes are just by the roadside. A lot of them.
Even a Jura and the rest.
Yeah, I mean, so it clearly shows that it's not necessarily a production problem, but there are just a bit of gaps.
Our biggest challenge when it comes to tomatoes in Ghana is the post-harvest losses.
Okay.
We do almost 47% post-harvest losses in tomatoes alone because we don't have means of storage. I chanced upon a meeting with the Ministry of Agri where a private investor wants to bring in these refrigerators at all the tomato production areas that can hold the tomatoes for at least 5 to 7 days. Then you can now transport. But the challenge, to me, the challenge is if we will accept that our farmers can also assure the market women and then the consumers that, yes, this time it is not going to be plant, harvest, wash, and replant. There should be that is where the Minister of Agri can come in for enforcement. Because in Burkina, they are not doing anything exceptional. But it is the law that you can't rewash and replant. That is the law in Burkina. So once you plant and you harvest everything, let everything go. Then when you, at least one tomato stick, I think you can harvest like 2 or 3 times before it goes off. Then you go for fresh seedlings and you come and plant again. So whilst they are planting, they are nursing fresh seedlings already.
So that once
once this one is gone, they replant.
All right.
So I think it's just behavioral. Yes, Ghanaians, had it not be even for the sake of Zambia trying to laugh at us, the chiefs were able to market our kentes very well. Until this recent banter, Fugu was almost dying. But now, thanks be to God. So it's a behavioral thing. We can do it.
Someone is telling me that you're actually a poultry farmer. You say you're a poultry farmer.
Oh yes. National Service. We have a 100,000 capacity poultry farm just at Papao.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Even today, I will bring you some. Don't worry. Yes, Hachu.
And Prof, someone is also asking me to find out from you whether you are into tomato farming. They said the way you were analyzing the tomato situation.
I am a farmer actually, but not into tomatoes.
No, but National Service is actually doing tomatoes. We did 50 acres at Abutentry in the Central Front Plains, and another 50 acres at Yape. And currently we are doing about 50 tents greenhouses at Dowinya. We are doing tomatoes and cucumber there as well.
I see. I've delivered your message. My senior at the bar, Godwin Edujita Maklu, head of the NPA. I've received your message.
So he's not a Muslim.
Yes,
so he's one part of the chicken. I'm not giving him chicken.
With me, thank you. Thank you as always for joining us and contributing. Let me come to you, Mr. Ajide. I mean, what's your own understanding of the situation and what do you think can be done about it?
Well, thank you very much, my brother. Let me join my colleagues in wishing our Muslims, brothers and sisters, Eid Mubarak. We pray that this holy season of Ramadan, the prayers that they have offered for our country, the Lord Almighty Allah will hear those prayers. I want to congratulate them for their endurance, 30 days fasting. And I hope and pray that the renewal that has come shall affect all of us. I particularly also wish to, send a special congratulatory message to the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party and his wife. Inshallah, the first family incoming. I want to share my commendations and to congratulate them most strongly on this auspicious occasion. I think that this is a major matter. We are in a precarious situation and we should not make light of it or attempt to deviate from the seriousness. This is lives we are talking about. It's food. It's food. It's very, very important. I agree with my colleagues and I associate with all that has been said. But if you know that about 90% of our imports in terms of tomatoes comes from Burkina Faso, then there is cause to worry. Not only are our food habits, our eating patterns going to alter, but we are talking about, again, an increased cost of living. Already, we are not doing too well. In spite of government's advertised inflation figures and all of that, the reality is that the prices of goods on the market, for those of us who go to the ordinary Ghanaian markets, we see the increase in the prices of goods. There is no meal that a Ghanaian will eat, or very few meals that we eat as a people, that does not have tomatoes in its preparation. And you will know that when there is increased demand, prices will adjust automatically. So what I foresee is a rise in the price, and we are talking about an astronomical rise because 90% of the imports are not going to come in. So you can imagine an astronomical rise in a major ingredient like tomatoes. It will cascade across board. And that is why I am saddened that we have not heard any response, any meaningful response from government. Yes, I associate with the invitation to private sector to come in and all of that. But we must have a short-term, a medium-term, and a long-term approach to dealing with a crisis that is unfolding before our very eyes. This ban was announced, I believe, on the 16th of March. It's been 4 days. We have been given a 2 weeks window. I would have been eager to hear some assurances, some interventionist approaches. What do we do in the meantime? Yes, my brother Fuseni attempts to make light of the situation. One businessman can sell their Bugatti. Of course, if a businessman decided to sell their Bugatti today, the tomatoes will not grow, mature, and be harvested in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we will not be able to get tomatoes. It takes time. So in the short term, in the mid-term, in the long term, we must be clear. My brother hinted at it. But my dear host, this is a retaliatory move from Burkina Faso, and our government must be held responsible. There is no doubt that Burkina Faso exports a large chunk of their tomatoes to Ghana. You can check. They have some other neighbors, but we are the ones who import the most from Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is merely retaliating to government policy. See, sometimes you promise high heavens and you do propaganda and do populism into government. There are so many things you have to do. You are now scrambling to rake in revenues from wherever, especially the low-hanging fruits. That leads the finance minister recently to announce a ban on transportation of some critical goods via road. Bearing in mind that Burkina Faso is a landlocked country. It's landlocked. Burkina Faso does not have a seaport. They don't have a sea, so they cannot have a seaport. Air freight, they can only transport by air. It's very, very expensive. And so they prefer to use our Temahabo and then transmit and transport their goods via road into Burkina Faso through the Kumasi corridor. Our finance minister says that no, that's not going to happen anymore. Including tomato paste. So what? Burkina Faso is not going to be able to get tomato paste, so they must make their own tomato paste. So you can see that it is retaliatory.
But I mean, the context, because I get you seem to be blaming the government for what has happened. Is that fair?
But I'm not the one who imposed the ban. It's the government.
Given the context that we all know, within which that ban was imposed.
Well, whatever the context, you can justify it all you want. I don't even want to get there because I do not even understand what you are talking about in terms of context. I mean, you cannot visit your own incompetencies. The failure of your own systems cannot be visited on your neighbor country that uses your corridor to import their things. You must bear in mind that, so well, if you say context, well, they have their own context. Your context are determining their context. So I'm saying that by this time, we must kickstart some economic diplomacy. It's not about Chatham House and our foreign minister going to talk above his head and make revelations unsolicited that have the capacity and tendency to even put Ghana on the spotlight. That's not the kind of diplomacy. This is the time that our diplomacy, economic diplomacy must become active. We must start some engagements, probably review the ban and discuss with the Burkinabe authorities how whatever challenges that we have in terms of transporting goods can be strengthened. What can we do to strengthen and plug any gaps and loopholes that may exist in the meantime?
I mean, substantively, if let's hold on the ban and everything. Let's look at still staying within the context of the importation of the tomato itself, because assuming the ban was not imposed and they are not retaliating like you want to call it, we still have a problem with the fact that over the years, successive governments, we've had a situation where we are still importing from Burkina Faso. That substantively is a problem.
You're right, but that's a mid-term, long-term approach. I'm saying that the people of Ghana are going to be feeling the heat in 2 weeks. We cannot pretend and bury our heads in the sand and play the ostrich as though there is no clear and present danger. There is. And we must deal with that. As for the verbal diarrhea of what must be done, private people must come in, and then national service will do their bit, encouraging and all of that. Yes, that one we can all go on about it, but it does not resolve the matter at issue.
Okay.
Which is that the people of Ghana are going to have to pay more for the food that we eat. Which is that our habits, our eating habits will have to change. Now we have to find creative ways of cooking our food without adding tomatoes. So we have to deal with it.
Okay.
And having said that, then we can now make some suggestions about the medium term and long term, which is to actually again invite the government to intervene in the agriculture sector. It is supposed to be our mainstay, the mainstay of our economy. But under this administration, what are we seeing even in terms of benefits to farmers? You can check with the cocoa farmers, for instance. We talked about, private sector must come in, and Professor Smasapon talked about the business of government not being in business, but to create the enabling environment. So what enabling environments are being created? For instance, I can tell you that under the previous administration, for instance, in the matter of maize, we moved it up from 1.8 metric tons /HA to some 4.0 MT/HA. From 1.8 to 4.0. There was a policy. We did the same for rice, 2.7 to 4.5. There was a planting for food and jobs, which allowed for government to do some direct support to the farmers, subsidized fertilizers, improved seedlings, for instance. Those are the kinds of interventions we should be seeing. It is not just about inviting the business person to come. The business person, that is what Burkina Faso did. Where are the irrigation facilities? Where are the irrigation facilities? So government must walk the talk, and we must put our monies where our mouth is, which is in agriculture.
Okay.
You check the budget that was read, and then you want to do a comparative analysis. How much allocation was made to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, for instance? Less than 5%. That's supposed to feed us and also to create jobs. We are an agrarian economy. So we must put our monies where our mouth is. And we must shy away from the general admonitions and pretend that, we are not in the kitchen and we are not the ones responsible. Mr. Fuseni Donko and his people are the ones who are in charge. And coming to tell me that Burkina Faso is retaliating because his government imposed or is implementing a certain policy, I'm confused. Is there not supposed to be alignment in government? Is there not supposed to be understanding when these things not discussed? Because clearly it looks like my brother disagrees with the move of the finance minister.
I disagree with a revenue leakage being blocked.
Oh, you don't disagree?
What do you mean?
Because you were blaming that policy.
Who says I was blaming?
No, you said it here.
No, I wasn't blaming.
Don't
misquote me.
So I'll learn from you.
Okay. Yeah. So in conclusion, my brother, you see, this is a serious matter. It borders on life because it is food. It borders on the cost of living because prices of essential ingredients like tomatoes and co are going to skyrocket. Already fuel is gone over the roof. We can't deal with our electricity. We can't deal with water. Prices are rising on a daily basis. What we should be doing is finding ways to bring down prices. But what has just happened will shoot up prices. I want to invite the government to step forward boldly, admit that, okay, in the matter of this finance minister's announcement, it is going to have this ripple effect on us. Is there a way we can deal with it? If not, or in addition, is there a way we can engage with our Burkinabe counterparts to find a way, maybe not a complete 100% ban, if we can regulate and have a certain gradual approach, whilst at the same time, our agri ministry that appears to have fallen asleep is nudged up, is woken up, so that we can start those necessary interventions that will make us self-reliant. And it is self-reliance, I guess, that you are talking about. That is the desired position. Everybody wants that.
All right.
But it's a process to get there.
Mr. Hussein, you had some reaction?
Yes, a quick one. I think I understand my brother, because now campaign message for the MPP is very tough. So everything to them is campaign message. So I can understand his desperation. But let's be very sincere with the issues. As I speak to you now, the Deputy Agri Minister has spoken on this issue. He clearly stated even trials that are being done on the same tomato that is brought from Burkina at even Navrongo, the Tono irrigation dam. The person whose government consumed $12 million just on going to do Polugu Dam, they just chopped the money. They didn't even use catalyst to even create a footpath. He's now talking about irrigation. Trials are being done even at Akuma Dam as I speak to you. Over 1,000 water pumps have been distributed to even tomato farmers, vegetable farmers in the northern sector, just to help them with aid irrigation. Yes, Ghana's tomato consumption is very huge. We are producing just around 300 and something thousand. We consume over 800,000 annually. So by all means, there's a deficit. But the deficit, like he rightly said, is mostly driven by behavioral taste. Because most of our people prefer what is coming from Burkina to what we actually grow.
That's
so
not true.
We are producing all right, but most of what we produce ends up with mostly those who process locally. Because what we produce locally, especially what we produce, cannot last, don't have the shelf life in the market. So most of the market will shy away from it.
But Mr. Donko, that's not true.
Hold on, bro. I'll come back to you. Just hold on.
Let's be very sincere. Why is there so much huge importation?
Because
we produce,
yes. But we don't produce as much as we
That's
consume.
why I say we produce 300,000 plus. We consume 800,000. So there is a gap of 500,000.
Exactly.
Haven't I said that here?
But then you go and contradict yourself with analysis.
You see, what I'm trying to explain to you, even what we produce, if we say we are going to even consume that, most of our market women prefer what we import.
Okay.
So it's that 300,000 does not even go to the market directly. Most of them ends up with the processing companies. Correct. Because they actually take those ones.
Correct.
Most of the ones that we consume freshly, so in the 800, about 600,000 tons or so are coming just for the fresh market.
Correct.
Because most of them don't even patronize what we produce locally.
Sina, so can I ask my brother?
What I'm explaining to you is that you who decided to go and do Polugu alone could have done over 100,000 hectares of irrigation. Polugu alone. As I speak to you now,
but
please, you chop the money, so don't say anything. You see, if Polugu was even functioning, and now that we are trying to even revive Tono irrigation dam as well, Akuma Dam has about 3,000 hectares of land, and they are doing irrigation. Unfortunately, they are not so focused on the tomatoes alone. They are doing other vegetables because some of them are easier. The cabbages are very easy to store. The lettuces are also quickly bought, and the cayenne pepper, green pepper, and so yes. The Deputy Agri Minister has stated that government immediately is scaling up the production. So most of the trials that are being completed, but immediately they have to scale up. Akuma Dam, instead of using all the about 3,000 hectares to produce different varieties of vegetables, why can't we focus at least 1,000 acres? Because Ghana does just about 47,000 hectares of tomato cultivation.
Okay.
So if we can increase that one to even 100,000 or 150,000, it could be that. And I told you that as an institution, we are currently doing 100 acres. This year, if we want to scale it up, we can even go up to 400 acres.
Okay.
So it's not as if government is shying away from it. He doesn't know what. Hey, listen, just one particular leakage gave us about 85 million Ghana cedis revenue loss. You don't know what has been happening monthly. Those were just 11 or 12 cars that were impounded. 11 or 12 cars alone is about 85 million. Imagine 24 cars, 30 cars.
Okay.
So it's not as if government just got up. We knew the effect.
Okay.
Yes, but if they retaliated, yes, we also have means to deal with the retaliation.
All right.
And that particular ban was not permanent.
Okay. All right. No problem. Prof, you also have some point. Please just hold on for me. Okay. Just make it. I'll come. You want me to go to him?
Yes, it's directly to mine.
Oh, yours is on a different tangent. Okay. Mr. Ajay, you can go ahead.
Well, I'm surprised why my brother thinks that this is campaign message. Campaign for what? For what? For what? We are discussing a major bread and butter issue.
Yes, so we'll bring suggestions.
About the life of Ghanaians, food that we eat. And I'm pointing out some very serious gaps and limitations in the approach that our government is adopting. And my brother thinks that it is campaign. They are still in the politics mood. And that's why he will go to Polugo and say that somebody chopped $12 million and you allowed it to pass.
About is the money?
If this is the man in government,
yes,
and you are responsible, and we have chopped 12 million of the people of Ghana's money, and you are watching us, then stop talking about it. It is irresponsibility. Simple and straightforward. Because this shouting, you did it in opposition. It probably worked for you, but in government, it's a different show, ball game altogether. You can't come on TV as a member of government, senior one at that. Just come and throw these unsubstantiated allegations and expect that we will take it line, hook and sinker. Because you know what to do. All the things you have talked about, people have chopped money, they have done this. Up till now, nothing. You two went to court over Edubuahi. There are eggs on your faces. It's embarrassment. You are walking home with embarrassment.
Those are cases.
But we follow the cases. But we follow the cases. But I'm saying that we follow the cases.
Following them does not mean that will be the conclusion. I mean,
why?
It's only fair. It's only fair.
The case is not even concluded.
Why? Mr. Host, at least I am commenting on processes that are in court and what I hear people say. For instance, direct questions are asked. Is the man, in your estimation, guilty of something? An officer says, no, it's not. It's a practice that is standardized. That's what we do at the national security all the time. And we hear it, and I hear it. I can't comment on it. When he comes here when he comes here and says 12 million...
I'm also speaking about an audit report.
That one, no question.
I'm talking about audit report.
I'm talking about an audit report. In any case, an audit report is not a finding of guilt. You should know that.
I can also talk about it.
I'm telling you, no problem. So you can talk about it. But the host allows you to talk about it. But once I'm talking... No, he's interrogating me. But let me continue.
You said somebody has won a court case. While the case is still in court.
I'm not interjecting you. I'm only drawing your attention that the matter is pending in court.
But you didn't interject to remind him that this is only an audit finding, which is not even a matter that can be prosecuted. He has to go to court.
It's a final report.
Oh, look at this.
It's a final report that you took money that you were going to work there and you came back and said...
It is my time. You're asking me to come down. I'm not asking you any question. I'm not asking you any question. What question did I didn't ask you any question. I'm saying that.
Okay, so I'm
saying that for the education of our viewers, an audit report is what it is. An audit report. It can always be challenged, and many audit findings have been proven to either have been improper or the understanding that people get are wrong. And so, an audit finding is not a judgment and a finding of guilt. You must understand that. But I'm saying that.
But somebody saying it's a standard practice at the national security is a judgment. And that one is egg on our face. Is that right?
You went and told us that. You told us that it is not standard practice and that he did it for the first time. It is supposed to be criminal. But now let me come back to the main issue that I'm raising. My issue is this. That you are a government in power. You imposed a certain ban. Your finance minister imposed a certain ban. You claim that 8 trucks, you know the number of trucks that ply these roads on a daily basis? You claim 8 trucks 12 have been found to have been culpable of some wrongdoing. And because of 12 trucks, you took a decision And as a response, this is the countermeasure that Burkina Faso is taking. You think talking about it means we are doing politics? I think that we should review that. And I think that we should do some economic diplomacy, because the vast majority of the tomatoes that we consume in this country, we import. And we import from Burkina Faso. Okay. And it's going to have implications on us directly. So this thing about Ouagadougou, look, during the former President John Dramani Mahama, when he was vice president and Atamils was president, Parliament took a loan of around $300 million or $400 million for the construction of Ouagadougou, which has an irrigation as part of it. Where is that money? You are talking about Ouagadougou 12 million. Where is the $300 million?
Was the loan up?
I mean, you go and check. Go and do your. Am I going to teach you here? Am I going to teach you here?
Is the reason why
approved and diverted by you?
I'm saying that.
You should go and check.
I'm saying that. If we all go on this tangent,
you should go and check.
If you all go,
talking about 12 million. At least the previous administration started construction.
If we go on this tangent, this is the back and forth that will be happening.
But you allowed it. When he talks about $12 million, you didn't say that. You have to listen to
Vera came and said they have completed the project.
No, how it's not true. It is not true. It is not true. It is not true.
You can play the tape.
Not true. Nobody has that tape. Nobody has that tape. I dare you.
Single signature project.
I dare you.
In the northern Ghana.
Nobody has that tape. Let them play it.
You can play it.
It's a lie. You think that Ouagadougou was a joke? How can anybody say it's a lie? It's a lie. You're lying.
Hold on.
You're telling lies.
Should I get you the video?
You are telling lies. Get us the video.
Why are you doing that?
Get us the video.
I don't know why.
Get us the video.
I don't know why they're doing that. You see, Mr. Ajide.
Get us the video.
I'll get it for you.
Mr. Ajide, the point is that when you are speaking, there are instances that I'll come in and I'll ask questions.
But you don't
just
come
calm down.
in when it's
you don't want to
talking.
listen at all. You don't want to listen at all. You don't want to listen at all. I'm saying that there are instances that I'll ask you questions. When he was speaking and you wanted to come in, I told you that hold on and take your notes. I'll come to you.
But
So,
when I was talking, he came, you didn't tell him.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You just.
But you also are not listening to me.
Okay,
when I was talking, when he was talking and I wanted to come in, you said I should take notes.
Yes.
When I was talking and he came, you didn't ask him to
I was telling him to calm down. I told both of you. It means you are not listening to me at all. Anyways,
he doesn't even intend to take notes because he brought nothing. He brought nothing to take notes with. He's doing WhatsApp. People are sending him fake information.
They should be writing when I can write on my phone.
So if we are admitting on this table that the response to the smuggle, which would have costed us revenue loss of about 87 or so million from those 12 trucks, is the cause of this, or Ivory Coast is retaliating because of that. Burkina is retaliating because of the decision we took over the revenue loss. Then I think it is a wrong move. We have to take responsibility of guarding the things that leaves our port and ensure that the right duties are paid. And if there are persons found to aid the smuggling, you see, let's activate our responsibility at the ports, and then those supposed to help us, the GRA and their task forces, commit to doing what they need to do. In this technological age, we shouldn't be doing things manually to the extent that we are unable to track the vehicles. So, for example, they say we are not going to Burkina, so we are not paying duty. Meanwhile, they are going to Burkina. Or sometimes they say they are going to Burkina, so we will not pay the duty here. We have another duty to pay there. But they stop and branch somewhere in Kumasi or somewhere there. These things are what we are talking about, and it calls for responsibility on the part of the GRA and the task forces that supports their work. Tracking and all those things. These things can be done. I think the ban can be reviewed, and then a more stringent or technology is brought in to aid in monitoring the movement, and then
Prof, even the minister said it
very
was
lazy
a temporary intervention, just to make sure they put in systems that can check it before they open it.
A very lazy approach.
So that's what time would allow us in relation to this first.
But let me land in a minute. Lawyer, I'm landing in a minute by saying, in the meantime, while we are at this, we should count our 2 weeks, that after that there's not going to be any such tomatoes in our system. So what is the response on the part of we, the citizenry? My biggest question is, why are women would use both tin tomatoes and fresh tomatoes. What is the difference between fresh tomatoes? I think maybe on your social media...
They use the fresh one as the base. Then eventually when they are almost done...
For flavor.
They add the other one as well.
The flavor is tomato flavor or tomato itself. So the fresh tomatoes...
Yeah, but mostly when they are doing the stew, they use the raw one.
The fresh one has a different flavor altogether. That is what our brothers do.
Tomatoes. You are using the tin tomatoes as tomatoes.
They add it after.
Please,
for flavor.
In times like this, let's begin to...
Please, your wife is watching.
then I think
it's a serious matter.
FDA and the Ghana Standards Authority must also begin to put a very serious eye on the tin tomatoes that are produced, because very soon, I think if these things don't get resolved within the shortest possible time, we may have to be resorting to only tin tomatoes for the time being.
Okay.
And we hear of some challenges with the tomatoes that are brought onto the system and all those things. So let's help ourselves in the meantime. And then if it is true that our Greek ministry is under-resourced, as Pius mentioned, please, we cannot under-resource our Greek ministry. We cannot under-resource our Greek ministry.
You just have to respond.
And if they need
I have checked. You just have to respond.
For their programs,
less than 5 actually.
Our Greek ministry should not be starved of funds and releases for their programs and projects, because we are talking about food. A hungry man will always be an angry man.
Okay. Let's wrap up on two main news items related to one subject that have become topical this week. I mean, the government has commenced the nationwide registration of small-scale miners. This has been done by the Secretariat responsible for Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program. In collaboration with the Minerals Commission, they have indicated that they want to pilot it in the Western North regions, seeking to formalize and regulate small-scale mining to promote accountability and environmental responsibility. And so that's something that they are doing, just to try and get a database. Another thing that news that also made the headlines this week is when the president told the nation that even our own people are involved. That is the president speaking on the challenges have to do with the illegal mining. This was when he met organized labor and spoke to them, and he said, and so I don't kid myself that we don't have our own people involved. Even when one party changes, those who are running some operation will go to the next party and say, now that you have come, come and take over this operation and let's share. We too will get something small. This is what we are doing. So that is the state of affairs in relation to the illegal mining situation. And I want to start with you, Mr. Fuseni, on this subject matter. There are those who say that the politics of Galamsey is what is biting the current government, in that the impression was created that it was more or less an NPP problem, and it was something that the NDC could deal with it once and for all. After 1 year, we hear the president telling us basically that even people who belong to his own political party basically are also engaged in illegal mining. Reality check, you would say, or you think the government is doing something differently?
I think for the first time we have a president who is being very truthful, candid and straightforward with the people of Ghana. You see, that is something that we lacked for like 8 years ago. We lacked in this country. The fact of the matter is that, as I speak to you now, almost all the 9 forest reserves, especially in the western region, that were no-go areas for even Forestry Commission and even the military, have all been taken back by the Forestry Commission through this government's fight against Galamsey. You see, it is one thing, say, fighting Galamsey, and it is another thing eradicating it. This government's commitment towards the fight against Galamsey is higher than we've ever seen. Because now the actual, how do we call it, the way people dare to do it as previously, even with some of their own party executives doing it brazenly. Even some party executives telling us that during those times they had forests named presidential forests that even the military and the national security could not even go there.
And those are all...
Well, it's Abronya who said it. I don't even know. He was telling us that they had a presidential forest, that they were doing Galamsey there, that people, the security were not even allowed.
Where was that forest?
Do I even know? Ask Abronya.
You have just 2 minutes, so just learn from me.
What this government is doing now is that what we call the responsible cooperative mining and skills development projects. What it's doing is that now they are bringing all these guys that were not following any law together. Then they ask the mining companies themselves, okay, this land that you are not using, can you see this land off to government? Then the RComsDep takes that particular land. EPA comes in to register all the artisans there. The local assembly registers them. Minerals Commission also registers them. Then EPA and Minerals Commission, together with the mining companies that owns that concession, guides them to make sure that, one, you don't pollute the water. All your tailings that are actually generated from the mining after the washing are properly disposed of. Then you are given even a temporary operating license for 6 months. If you follow the law, that is when you are given the license to now continue. I believe in a way, if this process is able to go ahead as planned, the local assembly is involved, the EPA is involved, Minerals Commission is also involved, the chiefs and all the other stakeholders are involved, and we all monitor and see that this one is done successfully, unlike the so-called community mining that people were using to enrich themselves. This is done. We all monitor and see that this one, they are obeying the... You see, the problem is not about the small-scale miners alone. The biggest problem is the illegal miners, because for them, they don't have any license. They don't have... Even some of them go to sites that don't even belong to them in the night and start mining. Okay. Those are the people that the state goes after. Okay. But small-scale miners who are also mining and are also mining beyond their limit are also conducting illegality. So those are the people that I believe we can regulate. Once we regulate this particular group, I believe there will be a cascading effect even on the illegal ones that, listen, if there is a way I can join this group and can operate legally and I will not pollute the water, nobody will come and be chasing after me, I believe it's a way to go. It's part of the fight. Okay. So I don't see the president saying he has given up on Galamsey or accept the fact that he says nobody is kidding ourselves to say, oh, as for the NDC, then nobody in the NDC is doing Galamsey. No. People will recalcitrantly go and try to do it. In fact, some of them were even working under the NPP regime who still continue to try to work. But make sure that they do the thing legally. They don't pollute the water. Okay. They don't go. The government has even banned mining even in the forest reserves now. So at least what we are doing, I think is a way higher than what existed previously. And this government's commitment against the fight against Galamsey is higher than we've ever seen. Okay. So the president cannot compromise or even throw up his hands in despair. No.
Prof, let me come to you now. And Prof, you agree with him on the last point he makes about the government doing better than maybe the previous administration did?
Anyway, that's the numbers or the current situation doesn't support the fact that this government is doing better. He's putting up a fight. But in terms of better than the previous one, we are yet to see. What I think is going to help going forward, and I'm not for complete ban, even though whilst Hussaini was in opposition, he was calling for state of emergency. You remember that statement, state of emergency and all those things. And I mean, to the president, I'm surprised that, and I don't know, he doesn't mean this is the first time he's acknowledging that NDC persons are involved in Galamsey. And I would be surprised if that is what he wanted to communicate. NDC, MPP, in fact, Ghanaians who have been involved in Galamsey are largely MPP and NDC people. So this won't be the first time NDC people are getting involved in Galamsey. They've always been involved in Galamsey. There's no Ghanaian elsewhere other than this MPP and NDC people. Yeah. So they have been involved in, since the issue got out of our hands, it's been NDC and MPP people engaged in Galamsey, except that his drastic state of emergency thing didn't come. That is the point where, for me, I got disappointed. Even though when they were talking about state of emergency, I wasn't for state of emergency. That was his position. That was the NDC's position, and I was thought that if they came and they did it, they would have perhaps given us some fresh start. But they are in the management of it. My own brother and countryman, Kofi Amabua, is leading the four. They've made some gains, only that it is not significant enough for us to say it is a better fight than the previous one. What the next steps are, as you have brought for us to discuss, is for them to regularize and perhaps have a full database of those who are in it.
Okay.
I don't know what has been happening if they were small-scale miners, because they say small-scale miners. They didn't say Galamsey for. If you say small-scale miners, it means they went through some processes and they have records at the either Minerals Commission or somewhere where they registered. Are we going to upscale that record as the new members have come in and we are upgrading it, or we are going to Galamsey sites or small-scale mining sites to register them? I want to get that thing clear, because
so what is actually done is that the cooperative mining scheme is actually established.
Yes.
So that it should be an incentive to drag them away from the illegal mining.
Yes.
So if you want to mine, government has spoken to the large-scale mining companies to seed up this land.
So
come and mine here so that we can supervise you to do the right thing.
So those who want to come there are those who are going to be
form
registered.
the cooperative, and they are the ones who will be registered.
We register them. That's fine.
What is this? Just land for me.
You understand?
No. Just land for me, Prof.
Yes.
Professor, do you understand what is this?
Do you understand? What will you do with the community mining?
I did a proposal. I was with Roland, your brother, and I still want to conclude on that proposal. So the seeding of concessions for these people is fine. What I'm saying is that currently, if we want to free our environment from these distractions that is ongoing, we should create banks, areas where they can do their mining, and areas where they cannot do their mining. If the areas are agreed upon with the traditional rulers and all those things, and they declare this part of the constituency a no-go area, and you are there doing mining, move from there to the part where it has been assigned for mining. Come there. And as we move them from the part A of the constituency into part B, where it's been agreed that you can do mining here, we regularize them as they come there.
Okay.
So that still instantaneously we can free some of the... But now what is happening is that we are getting concessions from the large-scale miners. But I tell you, only fresh people will come there mine. The people who are in the other areas destroying it are still there. So we are just adding and depleting more lands, including the concession lands, without saving the originally destroyed areas. We can do that, and by the time we run for about 10 years on these regularized areas and we come back to those places where the bans applied, we would have saved and grown back that ecosystem or that forest and all those things. And we'll be moving forward as a people.
Mr. Ajide, I'll give you the final word.
Well, you see, just a few corrections. The ban on mining in forest reserves did not start with this administration. Fact. That's a fact.
Who implemented it? Who passed it? Huh?
Mr. Hussein, hold on.
No, but
hold on.
He's misinforming.
Hold on for me. Mr. Ajide,
Can
proceed.
I continue?
No, you are misinforming the public.
You see, our colleagues in the NDC, because they, let me not say lied their way, I'll just say because they spoke their way into
You are
power.
responsible for all lies, so don't attribute that to us.
Hussein, let's have a very, we are ending, so
don't make it personal.
Don't make it. I'm not inviting you. It's not personal. Are you NDC?
What am I?
It's your father. When you say personal, are you NDC?
I'm NDC.
Please.
What's your surname?
You are Hussein, don't call. So you are the one who, so please. You see, that's the sickness that some of them have. Anytime they hear NDC, then bam, they get into combat mode. We are discussing national development. In any case, it looks like my brother is talking about something entirely different. And that is the confusion that Professor has. We are talking about small-scale miners. People who have been certified already to go and mine. That is regulated to a certain extent. That the NDC government, the ministry is saying that we want to do some registration for.
No. That's not correct.
Mr. Hussein, hold on, just hold on. No, hold on. I can read. You just hold on. I want you to hold on.
No,
Yes,
you
go
should.
ahead.
No,
Yeah,
he doesn't understand.
No, go ahead. Hold on. Just go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
They are not small
It is
scale miners.
completely different from the cooperatives that he's talking about. The cooperative is an intervention that is supposed to be targeting illegal miners. Small scale miners are not illegal miners.
But what did I say here? It's a way to take them out of the illegality.
Mr. Hussein.
So when
the people are not in illegality.
If this continues, we're not close to the
small scale miners are not in illegality.
I'll give you the chance. I'll give you the chance to respond. Just hold on. Yes, go ahead.
Small scale miners are not in an illegality. Galamseyers are in an illegality. And government responded by a so-called cooperative, which is a rehash of community mining, which the previous NPP administration started. Even to a better extent, because under the NPP, technology was even introduced. You remember the gold catchers, that responsible mining, some machines were manufactured that will avoid the use of mercury and something. So the gold catcher was brought in for the, what you may call it, the district-based community mining. So it is a different thing altogether. So for the spokesperson of the NDC to rather be confused about this matter, in itself confuses me. But for me, this is not.
That is the
sorry.
No, go ahead, Mr. Ajide, go ahead.
Sorry. I don't know which part. But
I'll give you a minute.
Let's make progress. Okay, I don't want to get into a banter over this matter. The fact is that this is not reform. This is control. This is an opportunity for the NDC to again hijack that space of the so-called small-scale mining. Because, like has been rightly said, the difference between the small-scale miner and the illegal miner is that the small-scale miner is already certified to do some legal mining, which is the small-scale mining. What the NDC government is now trying to do is to encroach that turf and to again politicize it. Because that's their stock in trade. That's what they do. Recall the recruitments. They promised it to their party people. Their party people are now up in arms. They want to politicize every and any institution in this country. How do they do that? Now people have certificates. Now they will talk about registration. They will ask for some documents here and there. They will now move into reallocation. It is all in the statement that there will be reallocation. So they will create space and bring in their people. In any case, this is the government that actually is facilitating the gold board gold. Where do you think they are buying them from? They are benefiting from the illegality. They are promoting the illegality. The gold that the gold boy is buying, where are they buying it from? They are buying it from the so-called small-scale miners, the so-called galamseyers. They just don't care. They need the gold to show up the city, and they are buying the gold. It is incentivizing even illegal mining, and that is why under their watch illegal mining has become worse. The water bodies have become worse. And it is not me saying this. It's not me. Talk to the people in the Ghana Water Company, for instance, and see. The last time a sister station did a comparative analysis of the acidity levels and the contamination levels of water, it had increased under their watch within these few months that they have been in power. I just did a Google search right now, and I just typed list of prominent galamseyers in Ghana. I just Googled it as you were talking. The names that have come here.
No, but those are, I'm not sure you can read those names. You are coming to read names of people. Yes. They've been convicted by court as
No. I'm just saying that. That's not what I didn't say. I didn't Google convicted.
Yes.
I just Googled list of prominent figures in Galamsey.
Galamsey, as we know it now, is illegal mining.
Yes.
So you can't read out names
but
of
we
people
know
that
we were in
making
this country. We were in this country that the presidency issued a statement. about some particular individuals. For instance, the national organizer of the NDC.
He's afraid the matter is an investigation. We've not had an update.
Since the days of war, it has been a year plus.
You have a minute.
But here they say you won't give me time.
I'm surprised he's doing this. The last person to be getting into personal issues should be Pius.
Why?
He shouldn't be doing that. No, please don't.
Am I on the list of Galamsey?
For me.
I can read the list.
Okay, so I should also
don't read that.
Google Australia visa.
Google.
I should also Google.
You can Google.
Let's focus on the issue.
You can Google. I'm saying you can Google.
You gave us a charge. You made the allegation against that. Even wrote to the international communities to stop even buying gold from Gold Board because our golds are being mined by Galamseyers. What this government is doing is to make sure they put a traceability on all golds that even Gold Board buys. So all small-scale miners, first, register. Let us know your source of operation.
Oh, now it's not Galamsey.
Please stop it.
Let us come and let us know where you are mining, what you are doing, your environmental protection laws that you are obeying and everything. As alongside all those involved in Galamsey, if you also want to be, because Galamseyers are doing Galamsey because they don't have permits. So
confused. This is an opportunity for you.
You are shifting your position. Somebody sent you a WhatsApp. When I was telling you that this registration was directed towards small scale miners, you were talking about bringing people from Galamsey. You are not even informed of what you are talking about.
Responsible cooperative mining was established to actually open the door.
What does that got to do with the policy we are discussing?
Involved in illegal mining to come and get properly trained, formalized, and properly directed as to how to do responsible mining.
Do you understand what
that is all.
All right.
Are we discussing Galamsey? We are discussing registration of small-scale miners.
You say we are buying from Galamsey.
Would allow us this morning.
Why are you getting the gold? Why are you getting the gold?
My guest this morning Pius Hajide. Pius Hajide is former Deputy Minister for Information. Don Kofuseni is Deputy Director of Finance and Administration at the National Service Authority, and Professor Smart Sapon is Director of Research at KSTU. I thought we were going to have a calm and peaceful Eid Mubarak, but I mean, it's part of. They don't want us to have a holiday. It's fine, but I mean, the big issue is always sponsored by the University of Gold Coast, and a special thanks to the University of Gold Coast for sponsoring us. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we are going to have a bit of conversation, have to do with issues surrounding Eid, and a very other interesting conversations. The birthday wishes and all of that will also come up. The cash outs, we'll do the cash out. The second draw would also do the second draw as well. So if you've not participated, you should participate in it as well. And just before we got that message that from University of Gold Coast, whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through a dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, the University of Gold Coast gives you the options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security and diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open. April admission is now open as well. You can apply today because at University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning and flexible entry as well. There is also flexible payment terms, so you don't have to struggle to pay your fees. You can also study around your work and life and choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments. Your dream deserves your structure. Your future deserves your strategy as well, and your purpose deserves some training. You can apply at www.ugc.edu.gh, or you can call or WhatsApp at the number 026 388 855 026 388 855. University of Gold Coast, building leaders for the nations. We'll take a quick break at this point in time. We'll be right back. Stay tuned in.
Parental Control helps you manage what your kids can watch. Open settings and select Parental Control. Enable the feature and create a 4-digit PIN. Choose a maximum content rating you're comfortable with. Any content above this rating will require the PIN. Restricted titles appear locked across the app. Trying to play restricted content prompts for the PIN. Correct entry unlocks access for that session. Multiple incorrect attempts can temporarily lock access. Parental Control on Adisa Plus. Available now. Adisa Plus. Safe streaming your way. Adisa Plus Parental Control helps you manage what your kids can watch. Open settings and select Parental Control. Enable the feature and create a 4-digit PIN. Choose a maximum content rating you're comfortable with. Any content above this rating will require the PIN. Restricted titles appear locked across the app. Trying to play restricted content prompts for the PIN. Correct entry unlocks access for that session. Multiple incorrect attempts can temporarily lock access. Parental Control on Adisa Plus. Available now. Adisa Plus. Safe streaming your way. Adisa Plus Parental Control helps you manage what your kids can watch. Open settings and select Parental Control. Enable the feature and create a 4-digit PIN. Choose a maximum content rating you're comfortable with. Any content above this rating will require the PIN. Restricted titles appear locked across the app. Trying to play restricted content prompts for the PIN. Correct entry unlocks access for that session. Multiple incorrect attempts can temporarily lock access. Parental Control on Adisa Plus. Available now. Adisa Plus. Safe streaming your way. Adisa Plus Parental Control helps you manage what your kids can watch. Open settings and select Parental Control. Enable the feature and create a 4-digit PIN. Choose a maximum content rating you're comfortable with. Any content above this rating will require the PIN. Restricted titles appear locked across the app. Trying to play restricted content prompts for the PIN. Correct entry unlocks access for that session. Multiple incorrect attempts can temporarily lock access. Parental Control on Adisa Plus. Available now. Adisa Plus.
Not just a period of fasting for Muslims. It's a time where very deep spiritual conversations also ensue between man and God. It's a time for discipline, sacrifice, compassion, and reflection. Now, across Ghana and the rest of the world, thousands of Muslims today would observe, of course, the Eid. But before that, they observed the period of 30-day of fasting, abstaining from food and drink. And not only that, but by committing to values that strengthen both personal and community life. And this morning, the question we are asking is, how does Ramadan contribute to nation building in Ghana? And what can all of us, regardless of our faith, also learn from all the values that Ramadan has to offer? One more time again on the show, my favorite, your favorite, is here. Ismail Muhammad Tusuwa, former Imam, Ghana National Mosque. Baraka Salah. Sheikh, how you doing?
I'm good.
Everything okay?
It's been a
You
while.
look beautiful. I love the blue.
Thank you.
The last time it was white.
Yeah.
But today it's blue.
Yes.
Did you get to visit Mecca this year?
Because of the ongoing crisis, so I shouldn't go.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And I can tell it's the story of many Ghanaians out there as well.
Right.
Many people were getting ready to go,
Right.
but because of the disturbances.
In fact, my flight was through Emirates, and that was where the issues
that's the
were.
zone, that's the heat right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So you couldn't
I
make
go,
it.
yeah.
So if I can ask, it's good that we've started the conversation from the war, the Iran-Israeli-USA war, and all the insurgents and the panic it is causing. For you as Muslims, for you as Sheikh in the Muslim world, does it disturb you as well? And what signal is it putting into the world out there?
Of course, Islam, as the name suggests, is a religion of peace. The word Islam, it means peace. So therefore, Muslims should be the first people to preach for peace. So we are just, during these special days, we ask Allah the Almighty to put an end of what is going on in the Middle East. I mean, there are so many people who are not even connected to these political wars, and they've lost their lives. So it's not something that is a good thing. So,
especially innocent children.
Yeah, that's right.
I see. Let's talk about Ramadan. Let's concentrate a little bit on the fasting and then the real core values, the real meaning that Ramadan holds. What are the values, apart from the fasting, what are some of the values that Ramadan in itself holds?
Yeah, so Ramadan, like you said earlier, it's not about abstaining from food or drink. It's much wider than that. Allah stated in the Quran, that Quran chapter 2 verse 183, that Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, that oh you who believe, kutiba alaykum as-siyam, that fasting has been prescribed for you, kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum, as it was prescribed for those who came before you, la'allakum tattaqun, so that you may attain God consciousness. So that's the primary objective of fasting, to attain righteousness, in other words, God consciousness.
Okay.
And this verse explicitly mentioned that even before Muslims, the other religious faith, they were also fasting. Like when you come to the Bible, I think Matthew 4:2, it is said that Jesus, after fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. That means that he was also fasting. And when you go to Exodus 34:28, Moses also was fasting. It is mentioned in the Bible that Moses was with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights without eating bread or drinking water. So fasting is not about, it's not only meant for Muslims, even though they used to fast, but the difference is that maybe we have our way of doing it.
Right.
Christians, they have their way of doing the fasting, and we, the Muslims, also have our way of doing the fasting. So like I mentioned earlier, fasting has so many objectives, but the core one is the fact that we draw closer to our Lord. And the second value is that to show compassion for the poor.
Okay.
If you are a rich man and you happen to fast, you realize that what you are going through for the period of 30 days, there are people who have been going through this predicament over 30 days.
Yeah.
So I think you show compassion for them. So that's the primary objective of fasting.
Building a deep conversation with God and then
Show
showing
compassion for the poor.
All right. So let's imbibe that into nation building. We've got a lot of politicians here in Ghana, stakeholders, and many of them may not even be Muslims. So these values that you have shared with us, how do we imbibe that into nation building?
So that is it. There is no nation without peace. And whenever Ramadan comes, the nation is at peace. Even, excuse me for this, even at the places around our Zongo areas where there are notorious guys, during Ramadan, everyone is calm because he knows that after fasting, he can't be engaged in certain social vices. So therefore, it helps build the nation. I don't know if you get me.
I get you now.
So that's it. And also, like the compassion that I was talking about, I have engaged with so many MPs who are non-Muslims. And during Ramadan, they also share food items and money to the poor, Muslim people who are poor. Yeah, so I mean, Ramadan is not only for Muslims, and is wider than that, like I mentioned earlier.
One of the things that you said that really hit me, it's actually got me thinking for a second, and I think that it's true. It doesn't matter who you are as a human being. Everybody has one thing that they respect or revere, and everybody reveres God.
Right.
And you just brought our attention to this point that even during Ramadan, if I got you correctly and if I understand you, crime rates even comes down.
Right.
Because the people who perpetrate the crimes are also people of faith and people of belief, and they are also fasting, knowing that this is not the time to go about stealing, thievery, burglary, and all of that. And unfortunately, that only lasts or can last for 30 days. Beyond the 30 days then, how do we still continue to imbibe this type or this sense of discipline in some of our brothers and sisters who have gone wayward and are not like the rest of us?
That's right. So yesterday I was even mentioning it to some people that if you were worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala within the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan has ended, but the Allah that you were worshipping is still alive. In Allah, Allah is still alive. So therefore, Islam teaches discipline in the month of Ramadan. So whatever you were doing in the Ramadan, after the Ramadan, you must continue with that. And scholars are of the view that if you want to test yourself to see the fact that if your fasting has been accepted, after the bad habits that you used to do, you are used to have, if the Ramadan ends and you still abstain from those things, it means that Allah has accepted your fasting. But if after the Ramadan, you comes back to the person whom you used to be, I mean, it means that you only know Allah during Ramadan, and that's not the case. You have to be disciplined. You have to show compassion for the poor in and outside Ramadan.
Sheikh, let's talk about zakat and sadaqah this morning. What significance does it hold, and what's the foundation actually in the Quran for zakat and sadaqah?
Yeah, so zakat is categorized into two. We have zakat and sadaqah. So for sadaqah, it's just termed as charity. You can see the poor and then you show compassion. Just give any amount that you have. That's sadaqah. In other words, charity. But zakat, we have zakat of mal, and then zakat that is for animals. If you have a certain amount, today is 20th of March 2026, and I think the last time I checked it was about 16,600 or to 18,000. That's the range. If you are having 18,000 with you, today is 20th of March 2026, and then comes all the way to 2027 the same day, and the amount is still the same or even more, then it is required that you have to give out something to the poor. Every 100 cedis, you have to take two cedis, 50 pesos, and then give it out to the poor.
Sheikh, hold on. Explain it to us properly. This 18,000 figure that you're talking about, where did you deduce that figure from?
So it is calculated based on the diamond and gold. That's it. I mean, sometimes it might be lower than the 18,000 or the 16,000.
Is that from your earnings or is from your savings? Where is that 18,000 from?
From your savings, or maybe if you are a business person, and then you use the 18,000 to be doing business, and then the following year, the money is still 18,000. If it is less, like 15,000, no zakat for it. But if it is more, even if it is 1 million Ghana cedis, then you have to calculate. So you see the most important thing here, even those who are eligible to take zakat, there are Christians in it. It's not only for Muslims. Yes. So if you are to give out the zakat, you can give it to a Christian who is poor. Yes, so that's it.
And your calculation says that what? So for out of every 200 Ghana?
Every 100 Ghana cedis, you take 2.5. 2 cedis, 50 pesos.
50 pesos.
Yes, then you calculate to the number of 100 cedis
that you have.
That you have.
So if it's 1 million cedis that you would have to calculate 2.5% of it to give out as zakat.
That's it. That's it. So that zakat is entirely different from the zakat we do during Ramadan. Yes, so the zakat of Ramadan is called zakat al-fitr. So for that one, you can use any food that is beneficial to humanity. You can use rice, maize, corn, or any other food that the inhabitants of that nation consumes. So our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu in an authenticated hadith stated that zakat al-fitr is a purification to the fasting person, and then is a food for the poor. I don't know if you are getting
of course,
me. So Prophet says that zakat al-fitr is a purification for the fasting person, and then it's a food for the poor. The main purpose is that it should help the poor to be also to also celebrate the Eid, so that they can also get food stuff and some items. Yes. So Prophet used to take 3 kg. If you are using rice, 3 kg of it, maize 3 kg of it. So if you are a family of 10, you calculate 3 kg by 10.
Okay.
Then you give it out. Even though some scholars are of the view that if you give out only the rice or the corn or the maize, it will be very difficult for the poor to turn it into food. So you, instead of giving out the 10, you may divide maybe 3 kg by 5 of rice. Then the other amount, you can use the amount and then add it so that they can use
buy
it.
oil, salt,
that
and
is
fish,
it.
and all of that they will need for a full meal.
That's it. And the purpose of this zakat al-fitr is the fact that you used to backbite. I mean, the small sins that
we
you
commit.
Yeah, so the zakat will purify you. Yeah,
right.
That's it.
Okay. Now, one of the notions out there, ever since we're growing up, you hear some of our Muslim brothers say that, or some of the Christians say that, oh, Brahmi namni bio, and then some of them will say, oh, we a kitwano.
Yeah.
Tell us the difference, because we often hear this is the small salah and this one is the big salah.
So
make us understand.
This is called Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr, and the bigger one is Eid al-Adha. And the difference is that Eid al-Fitr marks the climax of Ramadan, whereas the Eid al-Adha, it commemorates the sacrifice of Abraham. So that's where we slaughter animals and stuff. But here we don't slaughter animals. Of course, if you have the capacity to buy and then distribute it, it's okay, but it's not mandatory upon you. Yes, it's not compulsory upon you. But the bigger Eid, which is the Eid al-Adha, that's where we celebrate by slaughtering animals.
So that's the sacrificial one.
Yes.
So that's why that one, there's a lot of meat eaten.
Yes.
But this one is because of the fasting.
This
the fasting
one
is ended
and
we're celebrating.
we are showing gratitude to Allah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, and seeking for His forgiveness.
Okay. So today we will not see a lot of meat distribution and all of that. So after how many months after Ramadan is the big sacrificial one celebrated?
So Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. And after Ramadan, we have Shawwal. And after Shawwal, we have Dhul Qa'dah. And after Dhul Qa'dah, we have Dhul Hijjah, which is, we celebrate the Eid al-Adha on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah. So roughly 2 months, 10 days before we celebrate the bigger Eid. Yes.
Right. Sheikh, let's talk about children. And let's talk about passing down these values of Ramadan. During the fasting, I understand that children under 12 do not fast. Is that correct?
That's correct. Not even after under 12. Any person who is not an adult, fasting is not mandatory upon that person. I mean, there are people by whom fasting is exempted from them. Number one is children. Even though it is said that we can be training them, instead of fasting, taking your breakfast at dawn until sunset. For them, if they take their breakfast, we can leave them by 12. We tell them that now you can eat something small. In that way, so that by the time they get to adulthood, they will become used to it. And then pregnancy. If a pregnant woman is finding it very difficult to fast, the fasting is exempted from her. But after delivering, she may have to fast the month. That is outside the month of Ramadan.
Right.
And if you are on a journey, if you are a traveler, fasting is not mandatory upon you. You can count the number of days that you've missed, and after the Ramadan, you pay it back. And then old men, if you are old like 80, 90, 100 years, like our grandfather, the national chief imam, it will be very difficult for him to fast. So in that order, in that sense, fasting is not mandatory upon him. Okay. But he may have to give out something to replace the fasting. If you are unable to fast due to long-time sickness, you are required to calculate every day. Like you take one meal, for instance, if you are to buy breakfast, if you are to purchase lunch or dinner, you calculate how much for an average person, not someone, you know, so there are some kind of people, they eat a lot. Yeah. Not, you have to get an average, calculate for an average person. Right. If he's going to take a dinner, how much would that take? Then you calculate it by 30 and then give it out. Yes.
Okay. So I was asking a question about the children, and for the Bible, in Proverbs 22, verse 6, it says that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's what the Bible says in Proverbs 22, verse 6. In the Quran as well, is there any verse or are there verses that talks about training children? Just because she said you can teach children how to fast and all of that. Children are the future generation, and we are talking about nation building in connection to all the values that are imbibed in Ramadan. During the holy month of Ramadan, do you have special programs that you are able to take children through to teach them about nation building and the values of Ramadan? And what does the Quran itself say about training children to become responsible adults?
That's it. And there are numerous Quranic verses as well as prophetic sayings that encourage parents to take good care of their families. In other words, children. There is a verse in the Holy Quran where Allah stated that, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ku anfusakum, that, oh, you who believe, protect yourself from the torment of fire. Wa ahlikum nara, ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara, protect yourself as well as your family against the torment of hellfire. In other words, you have to train the child. If the child goes wayward, Allah is going to hold you responsible because you are the one taking care of them. So, I mean, there are so many programs that we do, even outside Ramadan, imparting the knowledge or imparting the knowledge to the younger generation in order to shape them become good future leaders.
All right. Sheikh, please hold on for me. We are about to cross over to the Northern region, where our Northern regional correspondent, Christopher Amwakun, is on standby for us. Of course, it's Ramadan. It's the end of the fast, and today is Eid al-Fitr, like you told us. And the celebrations are already ongoing up north. Christopher, if you can hear us, Baraka de Salah. What's going on? What do you have for us this morning?
Yes, so the excitement level for the people here in the Savannah region, especially in the East Gonja municipality, Salaga to be precise. You know that Salaga is one of the ancient towns in Ghana, and it is also one of the hub of Islam when it comes to the religion. And so, as today marks Eid al-Fitr, a lot of the people, in fact, about 95% of the Muslim community here in Salaga have turned up to observe the Eid prayers. In fact, there are 4 Eid grounds here in the Salaga area, and as we speak, they have all wrapped up for the Eid prayers, and the excitement level for the Muslim community is very high because having fasted for the past 30 days and today coming to thank God for a successful Ramadan and also thanking God for, as it were, answering their prayers is something that calls for this level of excitement. So they are all cladded in their nice outfits. They have come to pray, and the prayers is over, and they are moving back to their homes.
Okay, so typically, Chris, after the prayers have been said and now everyone, so jubilation mood activated, typically what would happen after here?
Yeah, so this is not like the big Salah where they will have to go and slaughter animals and other things. For this one, immediately after this prayer, they are going back to their homes. Some of them who have afforded some food items that will be cooking. This is where they will cook and serve our friends and family. After that, some will also meet at their usual meeting place to have fun. They will move around families and friends to, as it were, greet them and share some felicitations with them. It all in the name of thanking Allah for a successful Ramadan. So with this one, there is no much activity, but we know that the youth sometimes will organize some get-together as a group and also invite friends and families to come and reminisce with them. That is what we are going to see today. Now, if you go to, for instance, other places are not observing the Eid al-Fitr today, and so they will be observing it tomorrow. And after that, they will all come together and have the fun that it deserves, and also continue to pray to Allah for His blessing.
Christopher, we thank you for your time this morning. You look good in your white, by the way, and please keep an eye on other activities for us. We'll definitely come to you when it's time for the news at 12. Thank you so much for the updates. Enjoy a very good Eid Mubarak as well. Thank you so much, Christopher Amwakum. And before we continue this morning, special thank you going to Abaya Vogue for our outfits this morning. Beatrice, aka Sharifa, Idrisu, and myself, Fatima, this morning. Thank you, Abaya Vogue. You can call them on 0266 466 246. Let me take the number again, 0266 466 246. Please call them. Tell them that Cookie Tea sent you to come and get your abaya from them. Thank you very much, Chris, for that one. Sheikh, let's also continue. Yeah. So we were talking about the kids, but Christopher said something very important. The time for the prayers on such a day like this, what time does it start? And he mentions special prayers. What are these forms of prayers that are made to Allah?
So, specifically, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha should have been observing very early. If you go to the Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, they observe Eid al-Fitr around 6:30.
In the morning?
In the morning. That's how it's supposed to be. But in Tamale, I know some people observing 7:30 a.m. thereabout. Where I observe today, just around Japan Motors, they observe around 7:50 a.m. So it depends. But if we think that is something that is going to be inconvenient to the inhabitants, then we may shift the time. But ideally, it's supposed to be observed around 6:30 to 7 a.m. thereabout.
Right, yeah. 6:30 in the morning. And what are some of the prayers that are said?
So we have 2 units of prayer. The Imam would say the Allahu Akbar. He will say the first one and then add 6 to it. And then just do the normal prayer. And then the second one, he will rise up and then add 5 to it, making it 6. Right. So that's it. After this one, it's more or less like the Friday prayer. Right. But the difference is that the Friday prayer, the Imam is going to deliver the sermon before the prayer. Okay. But here, the Imam observe the prayer, afterwards deliver the sermon. Okay. I mean, he will encourage Muslims to keep on doing good, irrespective of the fact that Ramadan has been climaxed, and then they should show compassion to one another, and then pray for the nation in general.
Right. So on a day like this, prayers will be said 5 times the normal way today?
Yes. Okay. Even though this one is a scholarly debate, it is said that whenever Eid falls on the Friday, then you have a choice. If you observe the Eid in the morning, you may decide not to attend the Friday prayer, but you can observe it at your residence. And some scholars have the view that if you observe the Eid in the morning, then you are exempted from the Friday prayer.
I understand that.
Yes.
Sheikh, thank you so much for coming this morning.
Yeah.
But we need to do something before we go. You talked about praying for our nation, and you reiterated, of course, what's happening in the Gulf region of the world as well. We need to pray for peace.
Right.
We need to pray for the bombings and the missiles that are flying in the air to end so that we can have our lives back. So before you go, please let's say a prayer. You can pray for
So
us.
before I will recite 2 verses in the Quran, just like what we did the last time.
Sure.
And we are doing so because Prophet said that if you read a letter, just one letter, unlike English alphabets, Arabic also has 8 alphabets. That if you read one alphabet from the book of Allah, which is the glorious Quran, that you be credited with a reward. And that blessing would also be multiplied by 10. And these verses, these 2 verses that I'm going to recite, is just short verses, and it consists of 180 alphabets. If you multiply it by 10, you get 1,800 blessings. So we are doing so for Allah to use it to quench the fire that is going on in the Middle East and then protect the country. Before I even forget, I would have to say a prayer for my late brother, Honorable Ibrahim Mutala.
Yes.
And then Honorable Alaji Muniru Limuna. May Almighty Allah forgive them all their trespasses, and may Jannatul Firdaus be their final destination. Before I came here, my senior brother, the Education Minister, Honorable Harun Idrisu, also asked me to say a prayer for him. I mean, last time we were so fortunate, he had an accident and Allah being so good. Alhamdulillah, he's getting better. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect him among those of his servants whom he has protected. And my sheikh, he was the one who raised me as a child. He's one of the prominent scholars in Ghana. He's called Sheikh Ibrahim Basha from Tamale. He's very old, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide and protect him amongst those of his servants whom he has protected. So I will recite these few verses and then climax it with a dua.
Yes, please.
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتابه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولينا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. So we are done. I will just say a short prayer for you, this station, and any other person who is working here, the CEO, you are also projecting the nation. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you, all your heart desires. And may Allah protect you from all sort of envy, from all sort of evil eye, all sort of sorcery. And I can see that you look beautiful.
Thank you.
And
thank you very much.
I hope and pray that if Allah is going to grant you a companion.
Amen.
May that person be the right choice for you.
Amen.
Not only you, I mean, any other woman who is up to the task and still haven't gotten one. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you people with the right choice.
Amen. Amen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم اللهم ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم ما قسمت لنا في هذه الساعة الشريفة المباركة من خير وعافية وصحة وسلامة وسعة رزق فاجعل لنا منه أوفر الحظ والنصيب وما أنزلت فيها من سوء وشر وبلاء وفتنة فاصرفه عنا وعن المسلمين يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم تقبل قيامنا اللهم تقبل صيامنا اللهم تقبل سجودنا اللهم تقبل ركوعنا اللهم استجب دعاءنا واشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وأهلك أعداءنا ولا تخيب فيك رجاعنا واختم بالباقيات الصالحات أعمالنا اللهم ول أمورنا خيارنا اللهم لا تول أمورنا شرارنا اللهم انصر من نصر الدين يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم انصر إخواننا المسلمين المستضعفين في إيران وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار دعواهم فيها سبحانك اللهم وتحيتهم فيها سلام وآخر دعوانا عن الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you
Allah
very much.
accept it from us.
Amen. Thank you very much. God
Thank
bless you.
Thank you very much.
Sheikh Ismail Muhammad Tusuwa, former Imam, Ghana National Mosque. Allah bless you so much. It's
Amen.
always a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's been a big privilege having you again. Thank you very
Enjoy
much.
a memorable day.
Okay, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
All
we
right.
take a break now. We are still cashing out. We've got 10,000 more to go. Actually, 13,000 more to go. 3,000, 5,000, another 5,000. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
At Empire Kitchens, our skilled craftsmen pay attention to even the smallest details. The kitchen and the wardrobe are the
And you're still here on Newday on TV3. We want to get updates of what's happening across the country.
You need to cash out as well. To win the cash we are giving out this morning, I'm chipping it quick. Star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. There's still 3,000, 5,000, and 5,000 to win. Yenko Kumasi.
Yes, Yenko Kumasi. Ibrahim Abubakar is on standby. Ibrahim, happy Eid to you first of all. Ibrahim, we can't.
Thank you, Richard.
Hey, Ibrahim, you look nice, oh.
You said?
Oh, thank you.
Hey, you look nice.
Top
You look
man,
nice.
top
You look
man.
nice. You look nice.
I have to use this because of the young
Yeah.
So we all have to look good.
Top man,
How
Ibrahim.
do you call the hat you're wearing? The cap. How do you call that?
The noise is a lot.
The noise is a lot. But tell us what's happening though. How are you celebrating, and of course people around you as well?
Well, so here in Kumasi, we are marking the Eid al-Fitr with of religious devotion, vibrant community gathering, also some cultural celebration. As we speak, I'm currently at the Kumasi Central Mosque. We are yet to observe our Eid prayers here, even though other mosques have observed here. Here, the time we will be observing is around 10:30. And because today is also Friday, that we have to observe the Juma prayers, they decided to shift it back so that we will be able to observe the two prayers as a whole. So thousands of Muslims have begun coming here. And the day, like I said, typically begins early in the morning with the large congregational prayers. And here, people are just here to offer their special prayers and listen to sermons focused on unity, gratitude, and charity. Charity because this is a way that we cannot be able to segregate the haves and the have-not, those who have money and those who have not. Because if you have money, it is mandatory on you to ensure that you provide charity or you provide food items or cash donation to those who do not have it, so that they will not be left out of today's celebration. But because this is the regional mosque, the central mosque, we began to see dignitaries coming here, the likes of the Kumasi mayor, the country regional minister, some political heads from Japan, and the rest. Like I said, today is a joyous moment for the Muslim community. And you know that it's not easy to fast for 30 days. So some started with us, but they couldn't complete with us. So we have to be grateful to Allah for ensuring that we saw the beginning of this Ramadan and the ending of the fasting.
Congratulations to you and all those who took part in this, even to those who couldn't finish, because at least they tried, right?
Ibrahim, thank you. You look nice, by the way. We love your hats, but I'm sure we'll come to you for a lot more when it's time for the news at 12. Quickly, let's get into winning ways this morning. Star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber. Please, let's see what's happening on the dashboard, all those at the back. Uncle Kofi Capito, good morning to you, Uncle Kofi Capito. You've been watching us all morning. Great to have you watching us. Thank you.
Agency?
Yes, Consumer Protection Agency. Thank you very much. And then Razak Chedimba Nabil and his entire family, they've been watching as well. Special Eid Mubarak to you. And the Adamu family, Aziz, Fatao, Manan, Hajia Fati, all of you, God bless you so much. All right, star 439 hash if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber, you get to win 3,000, 5,000, another 5,000. Beatrice, who do we have on the line now?
Belinda Tete.
In which region?
The Buno East.
Okay.
Buno East, right? Belinda, good morning.
Good morning.
How are the Eid celebrations in the region?
Oh, the celebration has been amazing, and today being a Friday is usually the biggest market day of the week, but today the usual clamor that feeds the markets has been overshadowed by colorful abayas and a pool of worshippers converging to one prayer ground just to celebrate the Eid. And the prayer is currently over. We've had thousands of the worshippers gathered here, devoid of any divisions or any separations, gathered here to celebrate the Eid. The prayers is currently over. And I have here with me one lady. I want to engage her shortly before we cross over. Hello. So, good morning. Right. Welcome to TV3 Newday. Right. Thank you. So, the Ramadan is over, and today is the Holy Eid. First of all, how do you feel?
I'm so happy because Ramadan is a month of blessing. Within this month, there's so much blessing.
I'm sorry, Belinda. Yes.
Yes, we're having a bit of challenge hearing you there, so we'll leave it here for now. Just I'll put together all that content. Midday we'll cross over to you and we'll pick it from there. Thank you so much, Belinda, for joining us from the
Let's get into winning ways now. Let's see what's happening on the dashboard. *439#. You did not give out the 3,000 during the big issue.
No,
I
did a promo.
Hey.
Yeah, I did a promo. I gave them a chance to participate.
Okay.
So that they can win. So
let's see who's going to win the 3,000 right now. 3,000 coming your way, and the number is 054. 643 numbers come after that. Congratulations to you. I am not sure we'll be able to call him, but let's do one last one. Let's do one last one before we go. Let's do one last one.
That's the 5,000.
Well, the dash. Okay, they are working on it. They are working on it. All right. To our friends and family, God bless all of you. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. The time is far gone. Where did the time go today? Okay, so this one is huge. This one is winning the 5,000, one of the 5,000s. 0597346. 3 numbers come after that. Congratulations to you. You've just won 5. Oh, I wish I could speak to the person, but time in here. Because it's 10:07 already. So I'm sure you receive yours on your in your Momo wallet. Thank you for doing this with us. Abaya Vogue, thank you. And Ella of the Gile Center for our Duku as well. Alaji Yusuf.
Yusuf, I've not gone to Mecca yet.
Okay, oh, Yusuf.
Yeah.
Yusuf, and then Sharifa Idrisu. And then Fatima Adam. Thank you very much for watching us. Enjoy a very long weekend. We'll see you on Monday.